So, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is me, Dr. Dang, and along with me is Blackjack, who is also John Cena. Because there you go, he's back.
Hey,
Well, what an entry! I mean, that's a great way to get into the games that we have today. Because this is going to be quarterfinals of the SA Nationals 2021 Open Qualifier One.
oh yeah, it's gonna be a very interesting day of matches indeed. We've got a couple of games, one here on Twitch, one here on YouTube, one here on Twitch. Excuse me. Quickly had a little bit of a confusion about what's where, and my words apparently. But it's gonna be, like I said, interesting day of games, ladies and gentlemen. With the first match here on YouTube being Mischief Gaming versus Samurai Esports. A very interesting game to start us off on, as we all know, Oregon. Dr. Dang, back in Oregon once again. How you feeling?
I mean, it's not a bad map. You can't really complain about anything. It's a great map. There is going to be a lot of gameplay that we're going to be seeing that, is going to be really interesting. But maybe I would have expected a newer map with Chalet into the rotation now. I would have hoped that teams would have gone for it. And I believe that one team did go and play Chalet yesterday. But unfortunately, we'll have to see whether we can be seeing Chalet today or not. But right before we get into the game or the lobby or anything, we have a poll that came up, the community poll. As we can see, Mischief taking 67% of those votes. E-Samurai
That
only
is.
having 33.
Wow, all right then. ESM, not with a lot of supporters out there. I mean, 33% isn't bad, but I can see why a lot of people will be leaning towards Mischief after yesterday's game that they had against Kira Esports. I was casting with BZA for that one, and both of us sort of hedged our bets towards Kira Esports because they've been here, right? They've gone all the way in lands, in tournaments, everywhere. And Mischief, while they've improved a lot recently, they're still relatively sort of up and coming. And yet here we are with Mischief Gaming being one of the first to get into the quarterfinals of the Open Quals, now facing off against ESM. I can understand the support behind them 100%. So, actually, on that note, seeing as yesterday was sort of a day of upsets on stream, right? All the bets were against the teams and they ended up winning anyway. What do you think, Dr. Dang? Any predictions from your side today?
Well, as for predictions, I don't really have any because Mischief after the game with Kira, we know that they are not scared from taking a fight. They're not a team that's going to back away from a fight. And E-Samurai, we know that, or rather we can see the players that we have in the lobby. Actually, going over ESM's roster, we have Hypertushi, we have Dark Lord, we have Lockdown, Cascade, and Mando. And from the side of Mischief, we have Z-Panda, Round, Vortex, Psycho, and Raksan. So, a few players missing here and there, but all in all, I think that every single player out there in this 10-man, as you can say, lobby is definitely prepped and ready because it's qualify as one, baby. Who wants to not qualify right now?
Oh yeah. Getting through right in the beginning of the SA Nationals itself will be a huge relief because it only gets tougher and tougher as you go on through the weeks of the qualifiers, and then getting into close calls has less and less of a chance as you go along, as everybody knows, of course. So right now, these teams, both of them, and all the teams involved in the quarterfinals right now, they want to get in, which means the fights today will be really close head to head as we start off, ladies and gentlemen, with Mischief Gaming versus Samurai Esports going live on your screens right now as the ban phase will come up nice and quickly. It is Oregon, so I think we can expect a couple of standard bans here and there, like a Thatcher ban, maybe a Hibana or Maverick ban. Every now and again, ESM on the defense. They're going to have the first attacker ban of the map today, and that is going to be Nomad. All right, one that I did not actually see coming, but I can completely understand. The air jabs, very good at stopping a whole lot of movement from the defender side. Mischief with a quick decision as well will decide to ban the Thatcher. There we go. Thatcher just never gets to play these days. I feel sorry for him.
I mean, with Thatcher, you can't really blame the man. He basically counters every single piece of utility that you can bring.
Pretty much.
Save a few. Except those shields, you can basically counter everything. Maestro cams, Valk cams, Echo drones, bandit batteries, scaled electroclaws, Legion mines, cup traps.
It's like 99% of the defender gadgets is gone when the Thatcher's around.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty fair, and that's the reason that Cade is starting to get banned. Oh, there is going to be Mira in play.
All right, Oregon and Amira. This is gonna be nice. I tell you what.
Yep, this is going to be nice. I'm pretty sure that we're going to be seeing something pretty amazing come out because attack is going to be really difficult. If you mess up even a little bit in time management, that's it, you're done.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially with the meta in play. Should of course ESM want to bring the meta? Not that I can blame them for not bringing her in. Every now and again we see teams, despite having meta available, not bring in the Spanish defender. But then again, knowing ESM, we'll probably see more meta than not. Regardless, we're actually headed to second floor dorms right off the bat with a 6-pick out of the Jackal into the gridlock from round as the first round gets underway. And do expect a lot of those today. When you have a player literally named Round in the lobby, yeah, round puns are gonna be be abound.
They're going to be everywhere. But speaking of the game that has just started, who do you think is going to be taking this, and what is the score that you think that's going to be on the board?
Ooh, that's a good question right there. I still say first half ESM's got a good chance, primarily because Oregon, you sort of expect it to be defender sided off the bat, right? Especially with Melusi in play, with Jaeger Womai combinations in there, Goyo, and of course the ever-present Mute. You expect the defenders to just start off really strong. Maybe or not, knowing Mischief, right? They could just suddenly turn things on its head and go into the other half 4-2. But I'm kind of unwilling to hedge my bets. Like you pointed out, after yesterday, it's gonna be a little difficult to hedge bets against or for a team today.
Well, I mean, bets aside, this is going to be an interesting round coming in from the side of ESM because Cuskid is going to be on T3. Ooh. And apparently, he is not yet droned, but both the windows are going to get open. Triple repel coming in from the side of MIG. 2 players on an upside down. They're going to spot him. He has an ADS for himself, so he is going to be relatively safe. But how long can he hold this position? I think that his time is basically a ticking time bomb now, because with 3 players on repel and 1 player to support you from below, it's going to be really, really difficult. He's still going to tag round up quite a bit, as Tushy also loses a lot of HP. But there you go, the peek comes in from Mando, and I believe that's all the way in small tower, or rather in kids dorms, as might as well be in kids dorms as well.
Oh yeah, not a good start for the side of Mischief. They've lost Z Panda, but looks like Vortex will make up for that by taking down Dark Lord. Big drop with the Melusi going down. They are yet to find the Jägermind, who is still T3 on tower. Cuskid holding on very surprisingly strong right here with the kind of opposition he's up against. But given that he's still around, he might find one more. Not quite. Round takes a bit more damage, but he's got to be careful of the window behind him. So many angles, and he'll finally go down. Vortex takes his second as the double kill for the Ash comes up, and tower has been finally taken control of. Attic push is about to come in nice and quickly at the minute 15 mark, with Mischief finally taking a man count lead.
Well, Mischief has gotten the man count lead, but they have bled almost 2 minutes of their time as well. Now, yes, they do have a lot of map control for free. They've basically been given Attic for free. And with the gridlock traps going out, that's going to prevent flanks coming in from Armory as well. So there is the manpower on the side of Mischief Gaming to get this, but they're running a little low on time. Usually you would expect to have Armory control by around the minute 30 mark. But now, with 45 seconds on the board, it's basically going to be half the time that usually teams have to deal with this. And now, Mischief just droning inside. They know that there are players going to be holding angles everywhere. The shoulder is going to get spotted. Mando taking a lot of damage, and his head getting clipped off by Raksan is going to be the first frag that is actually dropped by ESM inside site. And Raksan, he's not looking to give this up. Kids Doms is completely free. Goyo playing on the door lockdown. He has a big responsibility right here. A C4 toss right now could be hit, but round is going to get taken out. The C4 comes out. Ace is going to fall as well, and suddenly it's a 2v2. Maverick goes in for that push. He's awfully close, and the blazing fast SMG 11 and the Vector are going to get that round. And Mischief, what? There is no other way to say it. What a throw.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, that was not a good round for Mischief Gaming. Even though they got the man count lead, even though they got control of tower and armory, they made good on time. And we know that they love to push in the last 20 seconds of the round. That was completely botched, and I have to agree with you on that one, Dr. Dang. As right towards the end, man, they really fell apart quickly, especially when round went down inside the trophy. That was it. That was basically the death tell right there for them. as the first round will in fact go to the defenders ESM, and we are going to basement laundry and supply room. Interestingly enough, the site that we see Mira played the most in, but we're not going to see Amira coming out. Instead, it's Smoke, Malusi, and Mute. So Blue Bunker Hope will still be there. There's still going to be deployable shields thanks to Smoke and Goyo, and plenty of denial with the Jaeger in play, of course. But even then, one might say maybe bring out Amira now would have been a better idea. Maybe not. It all depends on how ESM defends this round.
I mean, they could be also looking to just test the waters as they make their way into the map. They just don't want to pull that Mira out in case Mischief has something planned for that Mira, because no Thatcher is going to be making sure that the Miras are going to be a lot more safer. Pop a mute charge behind it, pop a bandit battery on it, kids ban so you don't have that, or rather simply just shoot the Hibana pellets that the attackers eventually end up use to get the Mira window. So there are a lot of ways to counter that Mira, but then there are also a lot of ways to deal with the Mira, or rather the counters of the Mira that you have on attack as well. But thinking about last round, I think that maybe had Vortex or maybe even Psycho decided to peek through kids rotate, we could be seeing a very different round. Both the defenders were top wide, and that would have changed the outcome of the round. But that's going to be in the future as Mischief are going to be mounting a new attack.
And a new attack it is, pushing in already on T1 of Tower. They want to take control quickly, understandably so. Last time was a big issue for them, and you could see it starting to affect them towards the end of the round. This time they're going to try and make good on that. But whether or not it's possible is going to be up to how ESM fights back. For the most part, we're not really seeing too many players outside of site itself. I think actually, yeah, there we go. Dark Lord is on the roam as he usually does. He likes to be out there. He likes to be doing things. But for the time being, he's going to be on the cameras, gathering intel for himself, giving callouts to his teammates as and when required. And again, it's all down to Mischief, how they attack, how they do their roam clear. They're already going for the Hatch Breach. Psycho's going to go in nice and quickly, get that done with 3 charges and whatnot galore. But wait a minute, Mando, has he seen one? He does, but reacts way too late. He's going to go down instead. Vortex with a quick peek and a fire. He starts off with Mando going down.
Well, I thought that Mando was probably holding off those bullets, or probably holding his finger off that left leg just to make sure that he doesn't give his position away. But turns out the quick peek definitely gave his position away. Now Dark Lord on the flank, he has to deal with the gridlock traps that have been placed on upper attic, but it looks like he's going to circumvent attic completely. He's not going in for that push towards attic, making sure that he doesn't give his position away, and maybe look to flank meeting and make some, make a distraction for the players of Mischief Gaming. Now, with 1 minute on the board, Mischief has not taken the map control that is needed for an execute, but they are very close to. Now, Cascade holding in from elbow is going to really be the last point of contention, as Dark Lord looks to run across the map all over again, as he is probably going to be going down Freezer stairs and looks to help his team out.
That's going to be one thing that the side of E-Samurai's defense really needs. You can see the smokes going off now. Kuskid, he's got one left here on Blue Bunker's elbow. The rotate is still open. Blue Bunker is still open to control as a Gemini goes in, but that, of course, is going to be shot with the push coming in as well. Kuskid, he sees one, but Roxanne will take Habertushi instead. Gas Grenade goes out. Z-Panda's taking damage. Kuskid finds him. Beautiful shot through the smoke right there. Falls back to the rotate, comes back out again, but you have lockdown. Finding one more. That's round going down, but Vortex comes in. Dark Lord is off the board, and Vortex will pre-fire, but no! That's a team kill! Unfortunate from Psycho, but the C4 gets denied. Psycho's gonna have to go for the plant. There's no time. Kuskid goes for Roxanne, and it's all down to the Hibana, who's gonna go down as well. Lockdown comes in once again with the smoke in tow, and it's those two holding on rounds for ESM back-to-back to start us off as round 2 goes to E-Samurai.
That was so unfortunate. That was so unfortunate that Vortex running in comes into the line of fire of Psycho, and well, a headshot's a headshot. The game doesn't judge whether you're a friendly or an enemy, and that's going to be an insta kill. And I'm pretty sure that that would have changed the atmosphere of MIG, because those were two rounds that they would have taken had Psycho just gone in for that plant, not worrying about any kind of crossfire, just sticking that plant, not worrying about anything else. Vortex might have been able to pick up the kill on Mando, and we could be seeing a 1v3 clutch come in for the side of Kuskid. Now, That's in the past, but those are things that Mischief need to look at, because these are rounds that you come so close to getting and then losing. They're not just going to be rounds on the board for ESM. There's going to be a lot more confidence in the gunfights that they have. There's going to be a lot more, as you can say, a better atmosphere for the team to perform in. And sometimes it's just those things that make the deciding factor between which team's going to be taking the round and which team's not.
Oh, that is 100% true. And ESM as a team, they've sort of been there. They've been up and down recently, not at their best all the time. But whenever they start performing, it is no secret that they start performing absolutely beautifully whenever they click as a team. And today seems to be one of those days. Sure, some of it is down to Mischief Gaming making some big mistakes right towards the end where they cannot afford to. But that is something Mischief needs to improve on as they go on. It's more of a Mischief Gaming issue than ESM. ESM's not even going to bother with that. They're going to think that, all right, they're making mistakes. We can take advantage of this. We're improving in this match itself. Let's keep this pace going. And that's what they've been doing so far. Mind you, 2 rounds so far. There's plenty more action to go, especially knowing where Mischief started off yesterday and came back from against Kid Esports. We're just, we go back to that game a lot, primarily because that game was just that fantastic for Mischief Gaming. And ESM, again, they're a team that works well with confidence, but as soon as you start pressuring them, there's a good chance you might get them to crack sooner than you expect. Now, that's not to say anything against ESM. They're a fantastic team, but they do have these little issues here and there, similar to Mischief Gaming, and that's what makes this such an interesting matchup between both sides.
I agree. I think that for both these teams, keeping their calm, irrespective of the scoreline. I mean, it's 2-0 right now for ESM, but it doesn't take long for Mischief to come in and pick 2 rounds off their own. This Diamond Kitchen is, in fact, one of the weakest sites that teams go to. So unless ESM is able to pull something out that is great and able to pick that round up, it's going to be another round that Mischief will not be able to take. But it looks like Dark Lord is out there to make sure that Mischief is not going to be having any piece of the cake. The first frag, that's going to be Raksan the Maverick, a huge frag, as Lockdown doesn't look like this time he'll be in a clutch situation. He's going to be stuck in a corner. He's got Kids Repair to worry about, Trophy to worry about. He's still going to walk away. What?
No, not like that.
How do you let that happen? How do you just let a guy wriggle across, run across big window, 2 windows, and get that kill? Dark Lord might be able to get another one, but he'll miss a lot of shots on Psycho. Hitting those metal railings is not going to do the man any favors, as he trades a lot of damage from that AK-12.
Oh, that was a lot of damage indeed. Nearly had that kill too, but Psycho will walk away with this. And, that's still plenty of HP to go for gunfights for. I'm sure Mischief Gaming will be well aware of that. Round is a little hit up himself, but with the Jackal scan coming off onto Dark Lord, giving away his position, Mischief will at least have the advantage of information on that one very key player. Well, that was the advantage that they had until the Jackal scans ran out. Vortex will go down to the Echo in the meanwhile. Habertishi makes good on his end, but Meeting has been taken control of. Is it too little too late? That might just be the case. Dark Lord still towards Garage. He's got advantage here if he just peeks, finds one. He sees the Jackal going around, gets him, round is down, and now there's one more for him. Could go for the quad. The diffuser's been dropped as well, but Lockdown will finish off the kill, and ESM, despite going to what is arguably the weakest site of Oregon, will still walk away with a win, and not just any win, a flawless round victory.
I mean, there is no way that Lockdown should have been allowed to escape.
Absolutely.
There is no way that he should have been allowed to escape that. There were 4 players dedicated to him. There was one on Games window that rappelled in. There was one on Trophy door. There was one on Kids window and one on Big window. I mean, except putting that dead guy on White window, there is nothing else that you need to take Lockdown down, and he still managed to squirm away. That is exactly where MIG just spent so much time trying to deal with the roam that was there on the side of E-Samurai that they didn't even probably have information that Lockdown was playing up there, because Dark Lord got that kill, dropped down, and after that it seemed like MIG was just hitting a brick wall. They didn't know what to do. They had to drone out Lockdown again and then figure out how they want to push him. So MIG may be a little bit better on the time, could be doing a lot better of a job here in terms of roam clear, because Oregon, it's going to dictate a roam clear. It's a big map now. It's not It's not the small map that we knew about. And unless you dedicate time and resources to a proper roam clear, you're not going to be getting those rounds.
5 seconds to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Roam clear is essential on Oregon as it stands today, especially after its rework. I mean, most of the map retains its old skeleton, right? But some changes that have been made to this map basically necessitate roam and roam clear henceforth. And MIG just have not done that roam clear. They haven't done their due diligence on it. Sure, they started off in round one with a couple of early kills, man advantage and whatnot. We've been there before. But even after taking man advantage, if you take far too long to set up and take control of key locations, then the round will still go the way of the defenders. Your attack will be botched. That is what Mischief Gaming have been struggling with so far in this match, and it really doesn't seem like they've come up with any solution just yet. And in the meanwhile, I think I heard somebody throwing a nitro. Yeah, that's a mute right there. That's not going to connect, unfortunate for him. Hypertissue using up his nitro early in the round. Interesting decision making, but we have the Ash charge coming in from Classroom. That's going to allow Bedroom to reach. Meanwhile, Attic Breach is also going to come in. Hypertissue, he's everywhere this round. C4 just a little while ago, now trying to peek on tower. Man's doing a lot of work right now, but he's got to be careful of the grenades coming his way, which they will be if that Maverick has anything to say about it.
Well, I mean, that angle that... Oh,
no.
Has just... Oh,
there we go. There we go.
Tushi takes 5 damage from a smoke grenade. Let's go.
It smacks him right across the face.
That's the piece of utility that has got MIG active control, boys. A smoke grenade and 5 HP on mute.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's interesting. As there's going to be a disconnect coming in from the side of Cascade, I believe.
Oh,
that's
dear.
going to take an operator off the board. Now, Darklaw trying to go in for that flank. Not the best place to go in for a flank if you have intel, because that angle that is going to be held by any player on Big Tower stairs is going to be a very, very one-sided angle. Now, mute prone inside kids. He has a shield to play around with. That's exactly why Lockdown is being played, because you can just deal with utility by putting a shield in front of it and then having to deal with whatever you want to do. But Raksan, he will have to make sure that he is careful about that. He has no grenades to work with because he's used both. I believe one swallowed by an EDS, but Psycho comes in with that AK-12 and the headshot's going to be coming through, and Dark Lord will pick one up onto round. That's going to prevent the big tower control, or the big window control that was there from the side of Mischief. Vortex picks up one. That's going to be Mando off the board. The plant is already going to get stuck. The C4 comes out. Will it connect this time?
Oh, no!
Will the denial as Z-Panda is going to pick up a kill for himself. That's going to be Dark Cloud. It's all down to Lockdown. The man is in a clutch again. This time he's got to break a 90 crossfire. He's still going to walk across. He'll get that. No! He's going to shoot the feet off Z-Panda, as it's going to be the first round on the board for Mischief Gaming.
Oh man, once again, very messy entry from Mischief. They started losing bodies, something fierce right there. But this time managing to hold on, of course, thanks to the Ash on that bedroom rotate, the hard breach that was made not too long ago. Vortex making good on that advantageous position, this time holding a cross that needed to be used a couple of rounds ago, right? When we saw back in round one, second floor dorms, they did not have that cross to protect themselves on the plant. This time they did, and again, Vortex making good on that, applying pressure, keeping it up. Even though a C4 did come through, it wasn't enough to deter the plant coming in from MIG. This time practically brute forcing their way into sight and holding on as hard as they could. Not bad, but there's still going to be a lot that they need to, work on going forward from here. Oh, hello. Looks like we're back once again. A little bit of a pause timer taken from the side of ESM, seeing as they had the disconnect from Kiskit. Hopefully he can come back nice and quickly, and we'll be back with the game as soon as possible, ladies and gents. But 4 rounds, MIG finally taking one. Looks like they're finally stepping up to the plate. So maybe we might just be in for a really long game here.
Well, yes, we could be in for a long game, and honestly, MIG just needs 2 rounds on attack, because a 4-2 split on Oregon is something that you can work with. And especially not to mention that MIG has come in on this matchup on the back of a win against Kira, which is, at least in my opinion, one of the best teams on Oregon. You can name a few teams. You have MRCZ, you have Union Gaming that are good, but Kira is among the top that we have in the region for Oregon. And Mischief taking them down on their map, was a huge upset. Now,
Oh yeah.
Mischief is not having the best time on attack right now, but I'm guessing that that's just going to be, um, first game jitters, as we like to call them. The first half is definitely going to be something where ESM will have to be the ball pushers. They'll have to be the people who make sure that the plays are made. They are the ones who need to get those frags fast and get those rounds on board because they have to be on attack after the split comes in. While for MIG, 2 rounds is going to be more than enough. And after that is when they're going to need to sweat.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're gonna need to try and bring their hardest when the half comes in. Roll swap, excuse me, on round 7 can be difficult on both sides, but primarily the one on the disadvantage is the one to suffer, as it were. And I don't use suffer lightly, mind you, especially if you're like down 1-5 or even 2-4. Sure, it's Oregon. You might be going into defense on roll swap, but having a round disadvantage will hurt quite a bit. And let me tell you, even on defense, we've seen teams crumble with round disadvantage on their half in roll swap. So Mischief will have to be the ball pushers once they go into defense. They will have to try and take the rounds one by one. They'll have to sort of force ESM into uncomfortable situations, and that all starts with reading them on round 7 itself. There's really no other way around it. Round 7, sure, they might still lose round 7, but they need to learn how ESM is going about their plays, how ESM is going about their droning, how their intel works, their gathering and utility clearance and whatnot, and where they can catch them off guard, and emphasize on that round 8 onwards to make a comeback, because otherwise, sure, there is the possibility of them making it 3-3 going into the half, and that would make it a little bit more equal for both teams. But even then, I don't really see them going 3-3 just yet. Maybe round 5 might convince us. Maybe round 6 might convince us. Who knows? But right now, Mischief still sort of in the throes of insecurity, and ESM still looking really strong, if you ask me.
I agree. I think that ESM might like to switch up the site right now. They might want to go to the basement just to refresh things up and make sure that MIG doesn't come into the groove of attacking kids' dorms. They can head to basement, win that, and then come back to kids' dorms if they wish, or they can just throw them a curveball and go to meeting dining, or even go to dining kitchen once again. I mean, who would want to go to dining kitchen again? It's just a bad site to go to. But yes, ESM can play that mind games, and sometimes just a little change in the op lineup because you expect a certain site and you end up seeing a different one can go a long way in throwing off the attack completely. Like, a team might know how to attack meeting kitchen 100% of the times that they attack it, but if they're expecting you to go basement and they've picked up so much utility denial and probably just a Hibana as a hard breach, that's not a round that's going to be going in your favor. Because think about it. You need to get the attic hatch control, which means 2 reinforced walls. You need to have a walkthrough on your meeting walls as well. So you just don't have that much. You might be forced to go for a rush plant. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how ESM can play around with the last 2 rounds that they have. But for Mischief, I think that if they work on their roam clear a little bit, and if they can shave maybe even 30 seconds off their roam clear, I think they have a lot of time to execute, and they can definitely take those rounds.
Oh yeah, that will again. It just comes down to that fact, right? Time is something Mischief Gaming really sort of plays around with a lot. When you look at them, when they're sort of in their groove, they like to bring in Dikebi, they like to bring in Zofia, and they like to hold off until like the last 30 to 20 seconds of the round. That's when they sort of blitz their way into sight, catch you off guard, and completely just turn over the round, right? Completely wash it out. Unfortunately, ESM practically has known at this point, right, that that's how MIG likes to play. A lot of teams now know that Mischief just plays like that. They love to do that, and unfortunately, that's been hurting them, right? We've been seeing Mischief get read into and get completely turned over on pretty much every match they play. And looks like, ladies and gentlemen, we are actually going back into the match. No reconnect from Kuskit just yet, which means ESM have decided to go in a 4v5 situation. Interesting decision-making right there. Probably Kuskit can't make it back just yet, and that's why no rehost request came in either. So it looks like round 5 will start off with ESM at an early man disadvantage.
Well, ESM is definitely going to be starting this round off with 4 people. But, if Casket does come back, he's at least going to be of use as someone who can watch cams. He can just give general intel to his team. Maybe not help them out with a gun, but sometimes you don't need a gun in the hands of a player who's playing Rainbow Six Siege. You just need good calls. And, that's basically why this game is so impressive that it doesn't matter if you're sitting at 0 kills. A lot of these times, sitting at 0 kills is not going to be the be it and end all. Sometimes your calls are a lot more valuable than the kills that you can drop. And maybe the kills that you would have gotten without giving those calls have now been transferred over to someone who's going to be on an Ash or on a Zo. Now, again, that's just things that you don't need to worry about too much. The round is going to be starting off. Mischief, they need to make sure they take this round. Basement is a very difficult site to hold when you have a man disadvantage, and I'm not really certain why ESM has picked this site, but we are just going to have to wait and see how they are going to be holding this massive site, because this site basically stretches the entirety of the map. You basically have blue all the way to freezer, which is going to be, I would say, 75 to 80% of the map. And with 4 people, that's not going to be an easy site to hold on to.
Absolutely. Basement is just one of those sites that needs 5 people. Even if one person's on Intel, like you said, Intel is such a big advantage to have when it comes to Rainbow Six that it's just a no-brainer at that point. That even if one person's dead, they're not doing much in terms of gunfights and whatnot. They can give you intel, they can give you that support, and you would still come out on rounds successful where you wouldn't have otherwise, right? But ESM with 4 players on a site that practically begs for 5 players alive and active is going to be tough for them for sure. The Maverick and the Ace as well, bringing in the hard breach already. Meeting has taken control. We can see not too much resistance that they can offer. That is ESM's defense right now. They're just sort of grappling with what Mischief is bringing out. Quick take on the tower and on the meeting is going to assure them a little bit of control on first floor, of course, but they have to watch out. There you go. Dark Lord is going to go out on the roam all the way up to second floor. Looks like he wants to circumvent tower once again. Attic, excuse me, because there is no rotate there. He's got to be quick about this though. See, Pana's going to take a bit of damage going in towards site, potentially speaking. Vortex, Ash charge number 1 goes out. Does a bit of clearance on a Goyo shield. A little bit of utility clearance, a little bit of line of sight opening as it were. And now, looks like the scene is set for a Mischief push.
Well, I'm not really certain about that flank coming in from Dark Lord, because not having map control on one side of the map, especially giving up solo wall pillar as well as E-box control and going on a flank, you need bodies at hand right now. And there you go, Dark Lord's coming back towards site from the same way he went up. Now, that could have been gunfight potential that they would have had on site, but Psycho, she's already going in for that plant right on the door. No peek coming in. It's going to be locked down to get that first blood, but by this time, this plant has been taken down, and so will Psycho down to a C4 coming in. Mando will pick 1 kill each as Lockdown looks to long arm this. I think this might just be, yep, there you go. A 4v5 flawless round coming in from the side of ESM.
Well then, talk about a collapse.
Well,
like, whoo, boy.
I am not really sure what we just saw.
Neither am I, I'll tell you what. Wow. All right, Mischief. Not good. Not good. Not good. Not good at all. They got the plant off, right? They brute forced their way in. They got the utility clearance done. They got the plant off, but trying to get themselves into better positions was what everybody was trying to do. Everybody was scrambling, and I don't think anybody was actually watching for those gunfights. 1 or 2 were lost, of course, and as soon as it became a 3v4, everything broke loose. Like the floodgates were open and all of Mischief just fell apart in one clean sweep right there. ESM, I'm not exactly sure what went down, but whatever happened right there with the gunfights, the amount of them that they won in a short space of time put Mischief in such an awkward place that there was just no recovery from that. And wow, all right.
I actually can't realize, I can't still take it in. A flawless 4v5 on basement. And This is exactly why I don't like giving stats on account on rounds like this, because
Oh yeah.
every single time that we say that you need 5 people to do this, or you need a smoke, or you need a thermite, or
Exactly.
you need something for this, the teams are like, you know what? No, it's we don't need it. We don't need it. You were wrong. And the spawn peak comes in from
Ooh.
from Hypertishi. He's going to be missing his shot. And honestly, that round is going to be such a big morale boost for the side of ESM that it's going to be a huge thing. Now, Jaeger just sitting on the reinforce, or rather the attic rotation. He's making sure that he has cover for his teammate, which is going to be, I believe, the Melusi ups. Oh, Dark Lord taking so much damage with the turnaround.
Vortex.
Vortex, I did not know that.
I don't think he
hit.
saw. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think he knew that he actually hit Dark Lord and couldn't
Oh.
quite see him. Oh man, that is unfortunate. I tell you what, Vortex is gonna go down as ESM will once again start off man advantage, and Dark Lord is gonna be happy to get away with that. Wait a minute, Roxana's been down. Wait, did he fall down tower? I think he may have. Unfortunate.
Not sure. Yeah. I
Mm.
mean, this round is
Not
this
up
round
to
is-
not
yeah,
up to a good time.
yeah. It's
Oh,
been 1
boy.
minute off the board. Your entry has been taken out. Not to mention, Roxanne is now susceptible to dying to bandit
Basically
charges.
a stray bullet. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not a good start for the side of ESM. Oh, sorry. Mischief.
Yeah. Regardless, we're going to see the bedroom breach come out nice and quickly. Psycho getting that done, but she's got to be careful of the Melusi playing so close. Dark Lord actually fell back about in time. We saw him really close to that potential breach, and looks like he's just denied it with an impact grenade. Good stuff right there. As Hypertishi holding on Attic, he's got to be careful of the grenades flying his way, but he's got magnets and an ADS. So many things to help him, but the only thing that will deny him the line of sight and sitting there potential is just the fact that the breach comes in. But wait a minute, Z Panda, unaware of Omai's exact position, is actually going to get taken down with the reverse shield peak coming in from Hypertishi and a proximity mine giving away their position. Gore shield gets blown. Hypertishi is forced back into sight, but it's a 3 versus 5. Roxanne is still super low on health, and ESM could very well walk away with this round as well.
Well, ESM is in a very good position to take this round for themselves. They have all 5 people up. I believe they have a C4 on lockdown, not to mention the three smoke canisters on the side of Cascade, and that MP5K is going to put an end to Roxanne. And there you go. The stray bullet, that was the stray bullet that was needed. As it's all down to Psycho. She's going to pick 1 kill up, but she's going to be left at 1 HP. There's not really much that can be done from the side of Mischief. There you go, the peak comes in from Mando. The 416 is not going to be a gun that you want to deal with at any range, not to mention with such low HP. Dark Lord to get the last kill in a 5-1 split. And I'm pretty sure, Blackjack, that this was supposed to be a 4-2 split. That last round should not have gone in the favor of E-Samurai. And I just hope that does not come back to hit Mischief in the back.
Oh yeah, that round on Basement Laundry, round 5 was just, it really should have been Mischiefs. And I know that we're probably going to come back to that round even in post game. That's just because that round really looked like Mischiefs, and it didn't turn out to be Mischiefs, right? And now with Kuskit back, Dorms was almost absolutely comfortable for E-Samurai. Now they're going into attack, 5-1 advantage, 1 round away from match point, while Mischief Gaming have their work cut out for them. 4 rounds to equalize first and foremost, and that's 4 rounds of near perfect play on a day that they are not feeling too good. It's very clear from the way they're playing today. They don't feel so good. They're not clicking. They're not showing up today. And if they aren't able to do that for a few rounds from here on out, I'm afraid to say it's going to be ESM's game through and through.
I completely agree. I think that for now, what really needs to be done by MIG is just sit back, make sure that you don't give those early frags, and just focus on what you've already thought about. Just focus on what you've planned to do in the game. Not try anything, too absurd right now. Just stick to what you know. Just stick to what you know you can do properly, and it's not really that difficult to take rounds on Oregon, because the map in itself is so defender favored, at least in the current meta, where Oh, is that? Yep, that's another disconnection. Now,
Oh
the
dear.
last time a disconnection happened, it was ESM's favor. Is that going to be the case right now? I don't know. But for MIG, it's fate proving them, giving them another opportunity to turn this around. Let's say that there's no pause on the side of ESM. They've already used up their pause. They have a rehost, but will they go in for it just now is something that we don't know. So, Mischief, 2 rounds, 3 rounds in a 4v5, at least try to take those.
That is certainly what they're going to have to do right here. 2-3 rounds in a 4v5, but as the SM have proven, they don't really mind that it's a 4v5. They will still do whatever they would have done otherwise to try and take these fights, these wins every now and again, isolate Mischief Gaming's defenders one by one and take them out. That's what ESM have done before. We've seen them go up against Mischief in other areas as well, and they might just try and repeat some of that success. And mind you, it is Cuskid once again who disconnected, which is exactly what happened a few rounds ago. Nothing against Cuskid, of course, but his team really likes to just go all in, and they're gonna try that one more time. Raksan in Attic with a little bit of a, a little bit of an angle in towards Trophy, something we don't get to see made too often. But Mischief likes to play with this concept every now and again. But Vortex looks like on first floor, he's gonna be the one to start things off in a big way. Lockdown will fall. That's your first one gone. Does he see the one in Classroom? He does now. That's the Panda Mind, excuse me, right there. And he will connect the head. Hyper Tushy. See you later. That is a GN and a half right there. I tell you what.
That's gonna hurt. When Tushy comes back to watch this ward, he's gonna miss that. He's gonna remember what he got shot with, and the soft nade on the wall. Why? Dark Lord, why? Well, the beat comes in. Not connecting with the headshot and missing out a lot of his bullets as well. But finally, Z Panda is going to go down as Mando is going to get that down, but they don't know about it just yet. They're going to spot it. There you go. Dark Cloud's going to confirm that kill on himself, and that's going to be a 4v2 situation. And it looks like MIG, they don't want to give any peeks, but no, it's going to be what? The Dark Lord, how do you go from hitting that shot on Vortex last round on Big Tower to doing this? Like, what changed in between?
Oh man, not good. Not good. Mando, last man standing right now for ESM 1v4 with the bedroom breach. Smoke grenades coming his way. There's not a whole lot this man can do right here. Practically trapped in an area of his own design. He's gonna have a little peek to contend with, but the kill won't come through. Time runs out, and Mischief Gaming, strong start on defense. This is what we were talking about. Defense in Oregon is something you like to have when it comes to this map, and looks like Kuskid will return. All right, little later, but of course better late than never for his team, as they are still 5-2 up. They've got a big advantage to play with. 1 round, 2 rounds here or there. I don't think they're gonna, they're gonna mind that too much, as round 8 will see us go to basement laundry and supply room. Mischief, strong start, but they've got to keep that momentum going from here on out.
Well, I think for the side of Mischief Gaming, they need to take this round as the catalyst. They need to take this round as the Mother Crystal, because from here they can string rounds together that will get them eventually close to the scoreline. I mean, from here they are basically 3 rounds away. They're a rotation and a half away from equalizing the scoreline. Now, yes, it's still going to be a lot more difficult to take rounds as we go forward, because ESM is also going to realize, you know what, we're 2 rounds away from winning the game out. Let's not do anything that's, quote unquote stupid. Just finish it off, make sure that we can get these rounds on the board as easy as possible. Now, a very interesting lineup coming in from the side of ESM: an Ash, Jackal, IQ, Hibana, and a Twitch. A very frag-oriented lineup. Now, Psycho, she's going to be on that smoke, while Z Panda is going to be picking up the Goyo. That's going to mean 3 shields that need to be taken out. And with no Zof and only the Ash to deal with, that Twitch is going to have to do a lot of work to make sure that she can get those ADSs or those Omai magnets. Oh, rather, there's no Omai magnets. So yeah, only the ADSs brought by Vortex.
Yeah, lots of work right there for the side of ESM. They've picked a pretty, gun-heavy team right there. Not that I can blame them. Like I said, they've been good on gunfights before, but when it comes to Oregon basement, I think a little bit more utility clearance as well would have been a good idea. There you go. The Twitch drone already in action. Kuska taking care of a cam on first floor. You want to deny intel to the defenders as much as possible, but he's also got to save some tasers for when they get to clearing out those utilities. Again, Banshees disabling them. ADS is taking them down entirely. That's going to be what the Twitch is here for the most part. Zofia could have been good. Anybody with like disposable utility, like multiple flashbangs or even some smoke grenades, if you're feeling that way, would have been a good idea as well. But a Twitch drone works if put to good use, and that is what ESM need to remember for the time being. Shield on freezer corridor means that there is already a smoke holding down, and the hatch will be taken care of nice and quickly from the attacker side. Mando, just doing what he does in this situation. Drones gathering intel, a little bit of control being taken inch by inch as the Ash pushes down on to freezer already. Banshee will be taken care of, and Hypertushy is slowly going to be exerting some control on this little corridor over here.
Well, Tushy's going to be going in for those pre-fires all the way down to small box, but with a minute 20 on the board and MIG still holding pretty, this freezer push is not yet proving to be the thing that is needed, and Dark Lord gets taken out. What a clean shot coming in from Vortex. He's going to get one, spot the Ash in the same corner. Tushy going prone. He's going to be peeking that angle prone now. He will have the advantage if someone white swings in, but it looks like if anyone knows exactly where he is, that's going to be a tough gunfight that he'll be taking. Vortex taking a lot of damage again as Roxana is going to pick up a kill for himself. That's lockdown off the board. Casket very low on HP, bullets ringing out right next to his ears from everywhere, but he's still going to get that kill on a Psycho. Gets down and traded out by Roxanne as he's going to be on a triple kill. He's man on a mission. He's going to get that kill, and as the Hibana of Mando is going to get spotted, it's going to be a 1v4 clutch on the cards for this man. But will he be able to do it with 25 seconds on the board? A full rotate coming in from towards the meeting hatch. This might just be called out. Well, there you go. The C4 gets launched out. It's going to be a rocket. It's not going to be landing anywhere. And it's going to not do anything as Mando just scrambles around looking for a free pick here and there.
Yeah, pretty much not a whole lot that Mando can do. He will still get one, but 3 seconds on the clock, and the timer ticks to 0. No kill confirmed from the side of the defense. They don't need it. Mischief, once again, winning by virtue of time after absolutely shutting down the attack on their own entry. Freezer and main stairs with no pincer movement, no, odd push to distract the defenders, nothing like that from ESM. All focus on Freezer and on main stairs, getting them taken down entirely thanks to Roxanne, Vortex, and the rest chipping in as they go. Now, we're headed to meeting hall and kitchen on first floor, not kitchen dining, the one that ESM went to. This one involves the bigger room off to the other side of kitchen, with a little bit of rotate from the soft wall and whatnot. Gridlock being brought in by Dark Lord. Of course, we all know the Nomad is banned, so Gridlock is a pretty good replacement for the Nomad in these situations, especially when it comes to gathering intel. Sure, Nomad's air jabs getting blown to infinity and beyond are a good signal, but nothing can quite beat the sound of bullets clanging against other metal to try and clear a bit of a path. That's quite the signal as well, if you ask me. But regardless, Gridlock being brought in, good stuff from ESM. But what is not good stuff is the way they've been going about these rounds. Not good. I have to say, not good at all.
I agree. I think that the kind of ferocity that ESM had on defense is not being shown on attack. They are not the same team. I get it. It's just been 2 rounds. It's going to be, a little too early to cast an opinion on what really ESM is trying to do. But, 2 rounds, they are still going to be a lot. Yes, agreed. 1 round was a 4v5. Even if you don't count that, the last round from ESM, the push just a little too slow. Roam clear, very, very good. You got map control very easily and very fast. But after that, it just kind of fell off. The graph that ESM had in terms of making sure that they're pushing at the right time, it's just kind of going down.
Ooh.
But Vortex going in for that peek from Tata Sky window is going to get shot down by Tushy, because that's not a man that you spawn peek. Tushy is the one that spawn peeks. You don't spawn peek Tushy.
Pretty much countered Vortex through and through. He's going to be the one to go down first. And mind you, he was the one to start taking bodies initially in these last 2 rounds for Mischief. So with him down, Mischief losing the first body this time around, the pressure is going to be on them. ESM really won that match point. It's very clear the way they are trying to go about this, but there's still plenty of work to be done. Attic control needs to be taken, and there's 4 operators in this region, in Big Tower, T2 and the Rappel. And actually, wait a minute, that's all 5 of them. T1, T2, and wow, all right, then everybody's here. Everybody's here, as the saying goes. But slowly but surely, Gridlock pushing up with a little denial right there, making sure that the bandit is forced to expend some bullets to try and clear out a pathway onto this tower corridor. And Dark Lord knows exactly what's up. He's gonna peek, do a little bit of pre-firing, doesn't quite catch Bandit's head, but of course that's just gonna wane Roxanne away from going for the push. He sees the feed, gets the down onto Psycho. Unfortunate defeat showing just for a second. Getting taken down from it. Dark Lord now knows where the bandit is, does a bit of damage. Roxanne very low. Mischief going for these odd peaks and odd movement decisions. That's costing them quite a bit so far.
Well, I'm not really certain about that prone peak that came in from Psycho. There was no need to go in for a peak any which ways. You have a shield, you have your Vomai magnets and an ADS to help you sit there. Not to mention your smoke in the back, trying to get that as well. Now she's going to try to... no, you're not going to snake your way out of that, Psycho. You're going to get taken out by Tushy. It's going to be on a double kill this time. And a 3v5, or rather a 2v5, because there's extremely low HP on Roxanne. Attic being held. Oh, the peek comes in, but Tushy, what a flip! He's going to get taken out by Round with the SMC-11, but he's already done his job. But what a shot from Round. He's going to down Mando as well. The player comes in. It's going to be Dark Lord taken off the board as well with 15 seconds on the board. This might be very clutchy, but he's going to get a 3k for himself. Will this be NES for the smoke? Round sitting around, meeting split, is now going to have to run across all the way.
Oh, he
does. Will he be getting that? Yes, he will get the down. This might just be a clutch. Mischief Gaming, what a round from Round, and there you go. That's that pun that you were talking about, Blackjack.
Oh yeah.
What a throw from ESM. Oh.
Ay ay ay.
Oh. Okay.
Oh man.
Let me just add Round to the number of smoke players that I actually know how to play smoke now.
Oh wow, ESM, are you serious? This is mirror for mirror, shot for shot what happened. Well, similar to what happened to Mischief Gaming when ESM went kitchen dining. The difference was ESM took a flawless round. Mischief completely fell apart. This time, Mischief on the throes of falling apart. 1v, what was that, 5, I think, from the smoke right there?
Yep.
Round just completely tearing through everybody with the SMG-11. Some smart movement choices right there as well. Using the split door to his advantage, peeking both sides and taking a down, taking a kill, and then pushing onto the planter, knowing that there probably wasn't enough cover. That and the fact that time would have played a huge part. Could he just get the down onto the planter? Not only did he do that, he secured the kill. Ace clutch right there. And man, that was quite the play right there from Round. That is quite literally his round, if you will. And now going into round 10, oh man, Mischief, that will be a huge morale boost for them, I tell you what. ESM are going to be feeling it now because 1 round to go for the equalizer. And if Mischief gets this, ESM's going to be in a whole heaping helping of trouble.
I mean, can we have a game here? Like everyone takes a shot when we stay around.
Oh yeah.
Pretty sure everyone's gonna be hammered by the time we get through round 2. There you go. You need another shot now, chat.
Pretty much.
Well, irrespective of that, now it's going to be another round on the side of MIG, and honestly, this is going to be a round that they would definitely want to take. The drone right next to Z Panda on Armory Corridor is going to spot out the shield as he looks to rotate that completely all the way in to the attic hallway. Now that's interesting placement of that shield. Someone sitting on Games Repel can cut that angle off, but at the same time, someone peeking in from Armory door might just be able to make it work for themselves as well. Now, not to mention that you can always yeet a C4 right over that shield and get someone who's going to be walking around inside trophy.
Plenty of avenues for a kill or two for Mischief, that is for sure, as ESM are currently trying to grapple with the situation that they found themselves in. Again, not too good. Their performance and attack has been very lackluster today, but for the time being, they're going to try and get in towards bedroom nice and quickly, get the breach done, and establish angles. They establish angles and crossfires for themselves as you have the breach coming in on the bedroom. You have that, of course, the Selmas from the Ace, Mando doing what he does, and in the meanwhile, Maverick coming around to the big window of dorms, that's Dark Lord. Hopefully this time he gets his shots. You know, he hasn't exactly been getting them on the side of the attack after that beautiful shot on tower when he was on defense in round 6. Army taking control of, gas grenades going off, plenty of action already happening. But slowly but surely, ESM in trying to set up for this push, hopefully for them, they don't take too long, because if they do, it's going to spell doom for them once again.
Well, yes, that's going to be the case for Mischief Gaming. They have, Z Panda, he's going to be picking up that kill on the Dark Lord. I believe that was a run out, as Raksan is going to be inside the Capita fire, or rather the Goyo shields fire, as he's going to be taking, I believe, 30 to 40 points of damage. But, that is going to be something that he can deal with. Now, Psycho, I believe, is going to, or rather, no, that's going to be Mando, who's going to be holding that long line of sight to Attic. But till now, ESM, with 30 seconds on the board, they have not been able to set themselves up for a plant just yet. There you go. Mando is going to get blown sky high. Lockdown will get that kill on the Psycho, so a trade does come in, but Z-Panda are taking a lot of damage as well. Now, there is not going to be man advantage anymore on the side of E-Samurai, or rather, that's going to be MIG. Raksan is going to be on the board. Tushi is going to spot one player, but the peak doesn't come in. They need to go in for that plant. Triple kill for Z-Panda. And there you go. It's going to be Mischief still, who's going to be walking away with that round. And it's a little close than what they would have expected, but a round is going to be a round.
Oh, absolutely. That is... Wow, ESM's attack is really taking a beating right now. They've taken a few bodies here and there. They've taken advantage here and there. Again, going back to that round on Kitchen Meeting, they looked so good, but then completely falling apart at the seams when they really do not need to. And that has been sort of a trend for them today from the looks of it, as Mischief push up, equalize, 5-5 up from a 1-5 down. And we have got a couple of 6 picks to go. Vortex, okay, that's interesting how he's doing that, but he's going to take the Vigil in place of the Goyo. Actually, Goyo gets 6 picked out on basement. All right, interesting decision right there, with the Iana coming in from Kuskid as well, out of Kali. Unfortunately, I was really thinking we might get some Kali plays here and there, seeing as it's Oregon with the Thatcher ban, but I guess not today, at least not so far, It is what it is.
Why is there a BB?
Oh wait,
why?
Oh, I didn't even notice that. It's Dark Lord as well.
Why? Just why? Like, you do realize that he is no longer the BB that he was even close to being.
20 HP, like.
I mean, at this point, if you're trying to pick BB,
you're practically walking on eggshells with him now.
5 seconds left.
I mean, why would you want BB in the first place? I mean, I understand the difference between being able to technically take 3 headshots before you get killed, but you basically take 2 now, and with every single gun on defense, be it the MP5 SD, the SMG11, the MP5K, the K1A or the 416, you're not going to survive more than 2 bullets. And I mean, okay, let him do what he wants to do, I guess.
I was going to say, like, this BB pick, if Dark Lord isn't able to make good with this, will be an encapsulation of E-Samurai's decision-making in attack. And I do not say that lightly, ladies and gentlemen, because, look at it this way. Blackbeard post-nerf is going to see a big reduction in play, right? People played him for his shield. His shield is far weaker now. 50 to 20 is a lot of damage points taken away, right? So that's less bullets survived, less survivability, and, less chance of the defenders getting frustrated at the Blackbeard in play. So what happens to the Blackbeard? He doesn't get picked as often. His shield goes down. Oh, look at that. He's already lost. Well, by the time we got done talking about his nerf, he's already lost a shield, Dark Lord right there, and he's running the SR25. So he's going to have to be very on point with his shots, which, as we've seen on the attack, he hasn't been, historically speaking. Yeah. So I don't know if it's a good decision to bring BB to begin with. And on top of that, SR25, a 3x scope. Close range gunfights is not going to be something Dark Lord will excel at in this situation, regardless of his performance in the attack today. And that, to begin with, hasn't exactly been too great. But of course, enough about Blackbeard. I think we've spoken about Blackbeard a lot right now. ASM looks like they're established. He's gotten too much publicity. I have to agree. ASM right now, second floor control being taken, but I can't really agree with that. Primarily speaking, because Mischief has one roamer out on first floor. That is the Jaeger Z Panda. Everybody else playing inside or around site. And even then, Z Panda seems to be causing a little bit of a ruckus, seeing as Mischief still has him alive. ESM is still hunting for him. And there's 40 seconds on the clock. ESM's setup is practically non-existent. What is even happening here?
No, don't shift WZ Panda. And that's going to be a kill for Lockdown. Now, the first pick has been taken by the side of ESM. They have taken pillar control. They have gone in for that drop. Roxanne is going to be falling as well. Will this be around? There you go. The shield just melts in front of the K1A. That's going to be Vortex with the SMG12. He's going to miss too much. Mando is going to get one. Psycho is going to be in a 1v2 clutch. Mando is going to be low on HP. The mute is right around the corner inside Freezer. The diffuser will get put on the ground as Mando is going to vacate site and look to play a crossfire with his teammate. Now both these players of ESM going to be in very good position. The C4 gets tossed out. It's not going to be connecting with anyone. That's not even close to where the plant has gone down. And as she runs in from Freezer, not the place you should be shift doubling, my friend. And I can actually call her a friend. I've known her for a long time now. So yeah. So yeah, you don't shift W there, Psycho. You're gonna be lying on the floor.
I mean, that is exactly what ended up happening. I'll tell you what. Mischief, not looking too good. Looks like ESM decided, all right, enough is enough. We're going to brute force our way in there, and there's nothing you can do to stop us. Even though Mischief nearly did, right? It was, a 2v3 right towards the end? 1v2 for Psycho. Unfortunately, she couldn't quite get the lines of sight or the intel required to get those final two operators, and that, of course, resulted in what we're seeing right now. ESM, after going from 5-1 to 5-5, will go into match point 6-5 as we head into round 12, or as I like to call it, the round of ones. Why I say that is because ESM are currently one round away from winning this, ending this here, and shutting down Mischief Gaming's comeback train in its tracks. Mischief Gaming, on the other hand, one round away from equalizing, one round away from overtime, and one round away from putting this show really into overdrive, as they say. So it looks like we're in for a very interesting round and a half, I'll tell you what.
I agree. I think that this is going to be this is going to be a map that goes to overtime. I just feel it that way. And this time it's going to be Dark Lord on the 0. So he's just going to be shifting operators just to see what he can frag out with the BB. It clearly didn't work out.
Whichever one sticks, I guess.
Yeah, whichever one sticks. Well, irrespective of all that, we saw why BB is no longer useful. Because the second he walked in that doorway, the K1A was able to melt through him. And if a gun with, I believe, 31 points of damage per shot and just a 725 rate is going to work that shield as if it's nothing, you don't really need to bring that operator at all, because most of the defender guns that we have either a very high per shot damage, which is eventually obviously going to melt your shield, but also sometimes they do have higher rate of fires than the guns that you have on attack. But now this is going to be a very important round for both these teams. E-Samurai to finish this off and make their way into the semifinals, and for Mischief to keep their hope of making it to the semifinals alive, as the drone is going to be shot out. Ash is going to be running down. That's going to be Tushy. The barbed wire done. Quick work off, as it looks like this is going to be a back push again coming in from the side of ESM. And now the C4 gets tossed out as well. That's interesting. What, 2 minutes on the board, 1 minute bled out. and a C4 has already been used up by the side of Mischief Gaming. That could have been possible plant denial utility that is now not going to be on the side of MIG.
In the meanwhile, we've got the hatch breach coming in from Zero, of course, with the secondary hard breach that he brought into Team Rainbow himself, of course, and he, of course, gets one of them as well. He used to have grenades, but the poor man lost them, similar to Buck. Unfortunate right there, but he gets to do a little bit of hard breach to counterbalance that, so I guess all is well with the world. I don't know. Grenade mains will obviously have something to say about that, but we'll get to that conversation on a different time and place. Right now, Meeting Hatch has been taken control of nice and quickly. ESM doing what they like to do. Take control, get the setup done, get in there. But the issue is their control is on first floor. They've taken control of the hatch from Meeting. That's a good place to start. The issue is Boiler and Blue Bunker are yet to be challenged entirely. Now, the Militia has vacated, I believe, from that side. Round was here, and he's just fallen back, leaving the Ash to just go in and get control nice and quickly. And Hypertissue might just do that because looks like Mischief have practically retracted from this Boiler area. Now the watch is from Freezer and from inside of sight into Connector, and actually inside of Blue as well. I just noticed that as Zero will drop through as well. Vortex, he's got to be careful of Blue Bunker door, and he needs to be, but he's looking away. He's going to look back and still get taken down. Cusket comes in, takes it, low on HP, but it doesn't matter. That's the first kill taken. 20 seconds now on the clock. ESM, they want to make this 20-second work. They're going to have to really, really work for it, as now setups being made, areas being opened up, and there we go. Sam will start things off. Cusket blows himself up. That's unfortunate. Z Panda comes in, finds lockdown, and ESM falling apart sort of a little bit. Mankind has been equalized. Mando going for the plan. Hypertissue finds Z Panda in the meanwhile, and Hypertissue will find one more round to go down. There goes Psycho. And Ace Samurai will take round 12, ladies and gentlemen. It's still going to be them for the victory. 2 back-to-back rounds when they needed it the most. Finally coming into play, finally bringing in everything that they were missing, finally reading Mischief Gaming the same way they were doing in the first half. As Ace Samurai Esports are your winners here on Oregon, 7-5.
Well, that is unfortunate. Those 2 rounds that were thrown by MIG in the start come back to haunt them. Because honestly, just looking at the scoreboard, every single player had a great game from the side of MIG as well as from the side of Mischief and from the side of ESM. And it's just unfortunate that we had to see MIG bow out this way, because if those 2 first rounds had gone in their favor, that one plant that Psycho stuck, and then that 4v5 was not lost, I mean, it's just unfortunate. You can't really say anything about it, and it's down to MIG not being 100% ready for this game. Had they been just a little bit more, as you can say, maybe proactive about it, maybe a lot more careful about the rounds that they were going in with, we could be seeing a different result right now. But ESM, GG's to them, a very, very good game coming out, making sure that that 4v5 that was played with in Cusket's absence did not hinder the progress that they were trying to make, and eventually they come out on top.
Absolutely. Fantastic game by ESM and a fantastic attempt by Mischief Gaming. There can be no word said that already haven't been said about the way that they played today. Mischief, if you're watching this post-stream, post-game, whatever, know that you gave it your all. Just those 1 or 2 rounds right there. 1 or 2 rounds where you really need to be a little bit more proactive and a little bit more vigilant, and you would have been cruising through today's game. Unfortunately, we will see you in the next qualifiers next week, as right now, Samurai Esports will go through to the semifinals, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, that is the first match over here on YouTube, already done and dusted. And in the meanwhile, it looks like Deimos Force and Virtual5 have proceeded to the semifinals as well. One more team to confirm, and then we'll have the semifinals coming to you live as well. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been it for myself, Blackjack, and of course my co-host, Dr. Dang. And this has been a fantastic game to cast and host, and we will see you with the semifinals in a short while. Stay tuned. Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the South Asian Nationals. Here with your host Blackjack and BZA once again joining you from the caster seat, this time on the semifinals for the first open quals. That is right, we are already in the semifinals, and what better way to start it off than here on YouTube with the match between Deimos Force and Virtual5 Esports. Both teams looking very strong in their journey to get into the closed qualifiers, and this is one more step that they need to take before they hit the finals, which is where they'll face their ultimate hurdle. Now, of course, the semis will be a big fight between both these teams. Both of them are coming up after a couple of months, not really looking too good, if you will, and now they're here with some fantastic matches under their belt, fighting off against each other. Virtual5 Deimos Force. But of course, before we go live with the game, we've got to discuss the fact that the map, ladies and gentlemen, is Chalet. BZ, first Chalet match in the SA Nationals. Let's go.
Yep. I think this is going to be the first Chalet I've ever casted too.
Same here.
Wasn't ever in professional play as far as I casted. So yeah, we'll have to see how this one goes. This is going to be an interesting one. And see what they bring to the table as well.
60% favor in the meanwhile in the community polls to Deimos Force. V5, 40% not bad support for them, but Deimos Force seems to be taking away the majority. I mean, can you blame them, seeing as DF beat Union Gaming on Oregon, attack first to get here? That is a big statement to make in the open quals. Just like Mercenaries, who got beaten yesterday, Union Gaming have been beaten today, ladies and gentlemen. The two biggest teams in the region are currently going to have to try again in the next quals. Right now, going forward from here, it's going to be an interesting fight because we have, again, like I said, V5 versus Deimos Force on Chalet on top of that. So expect a few scuffed call-outs here and there from us because like we've said before, it's our first game on Chalet, and let us get started with it right here, right now. The ban phase is about to begin. The match is about to begin as Deimos Force have the first ban on the map.
Oh. Bans on Chalet. I think they're still going to be fairly well tried and tested, right? Maybe
for the most
Thatcher
part.
or a Hard Breach.
Yep, there we go.
Starting off with the Thatcher ban.
About as standard as they come.
Definitely. I don't think they're looking to play too much with their banning instincts, as some would say. But we'll have to see though. What kind of strategies do they bring? How much have they practiced? All of that does go into a new map a lot. So,
for sure. Mm-hmm.
Though I think we've seen EU. I think we saw EU play Chalet for the first map of the season. So we'll have to see if they took some cues from there or not. I believe it was Navi versus Trainhard, I guess. So this one will be really interesting as the Hibana ban comes through, followed closely by Clash.
Okay then. Okay, I can't actually agree with that one. Clash on Chalet in just regular matches in general has proven to be quite the pain to deal with, and taking her out, especially in a map that really hasn't been played too much in competitive just yet, is probably a good idea. Clash in general is an operator of a lot of contention, and not having her in a game at the cost of maybe some other more advantageous ban is probably still a good idea. On the flip side, Deimos Force will decide to ban the Mira, and true to form, they don't like to play with the Mira themselves, and they don't want to play against her either. But of course, speaking of which, let us have a look at both of the rosters that are here in the lobby for us today. From the side of Deimos Force, we've got Poseidon, Sikajima Goat, Levi, Sniper One Candy, and Asterix. And from the side of Virtual5 Esports, we've got your average R6 player, Nostalgia, Kurosaki, Hussein, and Nippon. And immediately, a side that we would not have seen had this been old Chalet, but in Rework Chalet, this is a side that has picked up quite a bit. First floor bar and gaming room right off the bat.
Well, this will be an interesting one for sure. We'll have to see how they set up, what they bring out. The lineup is fairly basic though, I would have to say, compared to other maps such as Oregon, as we saw previously from Deimos Force. So we'll have to see how they implement their overall play style into Chalet. But so far, so good from them. They're not really throwing any curveballs. They're just playing the basic game or the route that you're expected to play. So yeah, good luck to both teams as we head into our first round here.
Most certainly, and like has been mentioned time and time again, when it comes to competitive Rainbow Six, you want to start off slowly, right? You want to start off with what you know, the basics and everything. You just need a little bit of time to read your enemy, read your opponent, and then you really start bringing in the oddball strategies, the curveballs, and all of that, all of the good stuff that we love to see as the matches drag on longer and longer. Interesting utility pieces as well. You've got 4 barbed wires, 2 two proximity mines, and a C4 and a shield. So not too heavy on the shield side of things, even though Asterix is bringing in the Goyo. So that's 3 deployable shields, one of which has already been placed on for a second floor trophy. The other one on a trophy hallway, well, library hallway actually I should say. But yeah, interesting shield placements right here from DF. Looks like they want to hold from mostly off sites, all 3 shields off site with a couple of Aruni's Surya gates. There's going to be also some point of contention for V5 to deal with right here and now as the first round is getting underway, but we've already got a push coming into Library Corridor. Will Sakashima see this? He is the Jaeger, and he's probably going to be first on the chopping block given where the push is coming in from.
Yeah, definitely. You see some soft reach coming out there from the Ashe as well as she goes into use. Well, actually, she didn't use one of them. I believe that was the Zofia using her impact grenades rather than the Ashe using her Explodey boys. I don't like to totally con them. So yeah, coming in, we do see top floor, the both projectile denials. We do see Vamai as well as the Jaeger holding up top, trying to get any peaks they possibly can. Losing your Vamai this early might not be the best idea. And as I say, that Sniper Boss Candy does get shot down, and he is injured, but Jaeger will peek right into it, trying to trade out for his teammate, but he will fail to do so. As he white swing for some reason without any bullets, doesn't shoot anything, and the Maverick will get a second with the pistol, where the Hussein on the Zofia will take care of Levi. Asterix, however, on the Goyo will get one for his teammate, trying to pull it back, but it is a 1v4 situation as he gets his head chopped off by your average archer split. Poseidon on the smoke up there with huge clutch potential as we've seen previously as well, but will he be able to do it this round? Quite a tall task. 1v4 situation, getting shot from all around. Up top,
wait a minute.
both doors, spots the ace, but the Zofia of Hussein is right there to trade him right back out, and round 1 goes to them.
I have to say, V5 coming in very prepared with Chalet. That was a fantastic push from them. We'll see that in the instant replay. Pushing second floor hard, knowing that clearing out the offside play from Deimos Force will be a huge factor in deciding who takes round 1. Deimos Force loves their retakes, and they do them fairly successfully as well. Not only that, they're starting off on a defense, right? Deimos Force, that is. So with V5 on the attack, the pressure is on them. Jury's still out on whether or not Chalet is a defender-sided map in its entirety, or if it's more 50-50, or if it's attacker-sided. It's undecided as of now, but I think we can safely rule out the attacker-sided side of things. It's just down to Deimos Force making a few too many mistakes in that last round. The Goyo peeking on main stairs despite getting already, the kill. Asterix unit, he got one on main stairs, should have probably left, peeked from somewhere else, gone for a flank, something like that. The Wamai behind the shield, opting to pick a gunfight that he did not have advantage in, and just a couple of wide swings that really did not need to be made from the side of DF that saw them lose that round.
Yeah,
V5 taking full advantage of everything that DF did wrong right there.
Yeah, I'm quite curious as to what the Jaeger was planning to do, because I'm sure he white swung, but I didn't really see any bullets come out of his barrel, so I think that might just have been a missed time on the reload there by him, which, well, sometimes does tend to happen, and that is quite unfortunate. But all in all, really wonderful round there by V5, just pinstring onto their, nemesis here, onto the Deimos Force. We'll have to see how that go again this round, as we are going into bedroom now, which is also one of the, previously worst sites on the map.
Historically speaking, old Chalet bedroom was just not a site you wanted to go on, but new Chalet, just like it did with Bar Gaming, has completely flipped the script on its head and turned this site into a very defendable one. The only big issue I see with it is this double window that Hussein is repelling, and Nipple's actually going to start things off by finding Tsukishima Goat. Huge drop, despite Nostalgia being down. Shrisha will actually go down as well. Levi takes the kill this time around. The Aruni comes in with a big pick. That is the Ash taking care of. Nostalgia is still downed, which means that the recovery needs to be made, and it will be. There we go. Nostalgia has been picked back up. Hussein is probably still on the rappel as the DMR fires off, and Hussein in the meanwhile finds Snapper on Candy. Wait a minute. Asterix will find Nostalgia as well. So many gunfights being taken and so many angles just towards bedroom and sunroom. It is always this area that gets used first from both sides, as you have the Jaeger trying to go for the peak onto Nippon. He knows that he's on the rappel right now. Asterix wants this kill, but he cannot risk it all. Even if he has a downed operator next to him, is he gonna even finish him off? He's just letting him bleed out there. That's just cruel. Kurosaki, I'm pretty sure he's not having a good time on the floor right there.
Yeah, for sure. And well, while we have a little bit of a downtime here, I would like to point out what a force Leva is with the DMR there. But as we talk about downtime, Hussein gets the kill, and he does essentially even out the man count, since I don't think Kurosai is going to be getting res. And Leva just baits him in. Gets the triple really clean there with the DMR. As I just pointed out, he is insane with the DMR, dude. His shots are so clean, so crispy, and then just suppresses it, goes pew pew pew, and everybody's just dead. So really well played there by him for this round as well to equalize for his team.
Absolutely. Well played from the side of DF. For the most part, losing a few bodies early, but this time picking body for body, you know, an eye for an eye, if you will, was pretty much the philosophy behind the way they played this round, winning a round on defense, going on to a different first floor site. Interestingly enough, you know, basement snowmobile and garage, well, snowmobile garage, that is the whole site, right, is what we used to see from Chalet Play's first site pick or second site pick if you're feeling adventurous, but that would be usually the first site, the most seen site to go on. And today, on this match on Chalet, it seems like Deimos doesn't want to go down to the basement just yet. I think that's either their most comfortable site or maybe a site that they don't really like to go on too often. Could be either of those. You know, teams make a lot of decisions based on how they feel about a particular site. Some teams like to reserve best for last, if you will, and some teams like to go onto their most reliable sites first. So with Deimos Force, I think they're saving their best for last, especially on defense. They are, after all, a team that is fantastically strong on the attack, and even on defense, they are a force to be feared. Hence the name, of course, Deimos Force. For the time being, Oryx will be in play. I just noticed that one. If Baba Gusto were here, he'd be loving this right now. His favorite operator's in play. So Baba, if you're in chat, let us hear you with an "oh yeah" that you like to say so often. But for the time being, coming into action phase, round 3 is a go.
Yeah, we'll have to see how the Oryx plays in as well, busting through the walls, or well, people themselves maybe, who knows. So yeah, coming down, playing into kitchen, and what was previously trophy now has shifted to dining. So it's an interesting shift in that side too, I would say, especially with the removal of the horizontal window that kitchen used to have on top of it. There's a lot less angle for the attackers to peek in from, definitely. So I guess that does make it more defender-sided overall as well. We'll have to see though how Virtual5 decide to play around it, but Deimos does seem to be on quite a bit of a lurk here as well.
That seems to be the case. Deimos Force sort of hanging back as Nostalgia. Not good. He's disconnecting, and that's not gonna be good for Virtual5's attack. You need 5 people here to get the attack done with almost no issues. Even then, you're gonna have issues attacking this site because verticality is a big factor when it comes to kitchen dining. Excuse me right there. Kitchen dining requires a lot of vertical pressure. Like off-site pressure is phenomenally advantageous when it comes to this site, at least from what we've seen so far of this map in competitive Rainbow Six across the globe. But in the meanwhile, Trophy remains as contentious of a site as ever, with Snapper One Candy just prone to shots fired, and he will find him. Kurosaki is the first to fall here. Actually, the first to fall, even though it says 3v5, the disconnect isn't helping Virtual5 at all.
Yeah, definitely. As well, going down in man count through 2 different means. One just got shot in the head, other got shot in the internet, but it's fine for now. I believe they might just be able to pull something out through their magic hat, but this does seem less likely as time goes on down to the last 50 seconds. Nippon just holding outside. I believe they're just trying to stall for time as much as they can for maybe when their player decides to or is able to join back in, but the Ash will rush in. That's your sniper once again gone. Levi will take some shots into the Shin, but for now he will survive, and not only survive, actually he takes out the Ash as well. Coming down to the last 30 seconds, Levi will swing back around, but Zofia coming from basement stairs will take him out. A 2v3 situation, bringing it quite close there from V5, but not quite close enough, as Deimos Force is just hanging out snugly. They're still in the winning position. They still have the HP advantage. As Nippon goes down, it's all up to Hussein on Zofia. Pushing in from the left of the Oryx there, who is aware of her position, will fire around into the hole that was placed in the wall by themselves as they get their second round on the board.
And once again, a good round from Deimos Force, knowing that they don't really need to play hyper-aggressive. They don't need to go out peeking every single possible angle, pre-firing anything to like existence and beyond. All they need to do is hang back, and that is exactly what they did. Chalet, especially on sites like Kitchen, sort of demands that kind of playstyle where you just hang back and do what needs to be done and no more than that. But ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking about this site for a couple of rounds now, and we are finally going down to the basement snowmobile garage from the side of Deimos Force. Left with almost no options, they are going down to the basement site. Well, I say no options. Bar Gaming is still open, technically speaking. They did lose that site, but clearly they do not want to go back there. V5 took that round very quickly, very comfortably, and Bar Gaming seems like Deimos Force is not going to go back to that site anytime soon. Basement up for the taking. Nostalgia has returned. He's taken up the buck as well in the meanwhile. So V5 all hands on deck because they will need to get this round sorted.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Attackers have located a bomb.
In the previous tally, you would never expect to go to basement in round 4 of all rounds. You'd actually expected that it was at least in the first 2, but this will be an exciting one to see how this goes down for them, considering they are not actually bringing out any hard breach denial of sorts. So it might just be free reign for Ace to just come in and open walls on the side there near the, what do you call it, the trench area.
Oh dear.
The callouts. So it will be quite interesting as Levi gets shot in the foot by a shotgun, which, well, does a lot.
Yep, that's gonna sting. Anyhow, well, with Levi now low on HP and still playing offside from the looks of it, he's going to have to be so careful on the areas he decides to peek, the gunfights he decides to take. But knowing Levi and having seen him for this last year or so in competitive, I don't think it's going to affect him too much. He will still go out fighting as a player from Deimos Force is expected to do. But wait a minute, V5 is going to bypass all the first floor stuff, and looks like they want to go straight into site. You already have the breaches coming in via the Selma from the Ace. That is Nippon getting his job done. Can he get a kill? But Kurosaki peeking. He sees one, but can't quite connect. The Jaeger makes it out just in time. Tsukushima saves his own. Well, okay, he saves his own life, but the same finds Sample on Candy towards the blue connector. That's going to put them in a man disadvantage already. And with Levi low, Tsukushima Goat hit up slightly. And Snapper on Candy already down. Deimos Force, not a particularly good start. Still one that they can swing back from, especially if verticality works out, and Levi will make it work. Dropping Diffuser, dropping Nippon. First kill for DF.
Yeah, your HP definitely doesn't matter if you don't get shot at all by the enemy, as he catches the Ace off guard trying to run in for a plant maybe. But so far, V5 have taken full advantage of the lack of hard breach denial coming out from Deimos Force. They have a severe HP advantage, I must add as well. 2 people on 1 shot, as well, Tsukushima just gets shot in the head anyways, so it's not like the HP mattered at all. But Oryx will be going in for a gunfight, trying to delay as long as he can, and, well, he's out. He doesn't want any of it anymore, as his team inside is getting called right now by V5 as the plant goes down. But the Zofia of Hussein will be watching the flank, swings back around and gets the kill installed onto Poseidon. The smoke yet again. In a 1v3 situation, he manages to get rid of the buck there, but will he be able to
nice shot.
win the round? Gets another one. Kurosaki down.
Ooh, wait a minute. This could be the clutch right here. Oh no! turned around at the wrong time. Poseidon. Aha, I don't think he had intel there. Unfortunate, but the Ash will be the one to walk away with the kill in that situation. Clutch denied. And V5, the way they started off that round, you'd have expected them to win a whole lot sooner. But even then, they managed to bring it out with your average Arctic player taking the final kill of the round itself. Basement Snowmobile, a very close fight for both sides. But we're not going to be going back there. Oh no, Bedroom has been opened up, a side that the side of Deimos Force took pretty well, although I will say, seeing as all confrontations happened on Sunroom, with the exception being Hussein repelling on Bedroom Big Window, not a whole lot of diversity in terms of action in that round two. So this time V5 might want to change up their push, might want to go through Library, might want to go through the balcony of Office, as that gives you an avenue of hard breach into Office, a little doorway to enter through that you can watch the rotate all the way into Sunroom 4, if the angle is there, which it doesn't seem like will be. The rotate is on the left side of the wall, right there, that the Aruni is currently making. And I like the emphasis of Aruni from the side of Deimos Force, right? She's an operator that I'm pretty sure we'll see more and more of as time goes on. Her laser gates offer such a wide variety of potentials. You have utility, you have, utility denial, obviously. You have a little bit of drone denial as well. Sometimes teams sacrifice some of their drones to the laser gates to try and get them open. And more importantly, should a gate be opened and an attacker be caught in front of it with no other avenue of entry and no other utility to throw at it, that's a lot of HP, potentially even a kill. So, similar to how a Capcan trap works, except of course you can counter Capcan with simple bullets. Asterisks. Basement right now, just in the main garage entrance, right? He's just trying to see if he can go for a run out onto the rappel. As we all know, the Sunroom rappel is a deadly one to deal with for defenders. But I think there's a Claymore right outside the door that he's aware of, so he's just going to fall back instead. Tried to use a bit of vertical line of sight. Wasn't able to. No damage done. Stamp on Candy already very low. What is it with the castle and being low on HP in a couple of rounds back-to-back? Not sure, but he might have just taken a gunfight and not come out on top, which is why he's in this situation with V5 closing in very quickly, I must say.
Yeah, coming up the stairs now is the Maverick, who tries to get his nade in to possibly do any sort of damage, but no one is really playing there, so he does have a free reign to come up inside of the solarium. And we'll have to see if he manages to do any damage here, but the rotations might just get him shot in the ass. We'll have to see how that goes for him. However, as Fukushima is holding an angle, will be pre-firing in right near the Maverick, but no shots will be connecting just as of now. We are in a bit of a stalemate here again, as the attackers trying to figure out where they want to push, or just waiting for the defenders to push into them. Speaking of defenders to peek into them, Fukushima takes out Maverick. So, equal man count now. Actually, sorry, apology about that. Sniper 1 Candy is still alive, even though he lost a lot of HP there. So, increasing man count there for Virtual5. Nostalgia will be going for a bit of a vertical play here, trying to shoot anybody that might just be above him, but cleverly maneuvering around on top is the Fukushima goes Wamai, who will actually be rotating around and gets another kill. So that's double for him on the round, as the Jaeger will also be by swinging in hopes of catching anyone off guard. At this case, it is Ash, but Fukushima just showing no signs of stopping. We'll take out Nippon there, and still two people on the solarium stairs trying to push in. It's the Ash and the Buck in a 2v5 situation. Two people on Deimos Force are quite low on HP, but I don't think that will matter quite a lot, as we had to just last 30 seconds, and that is the castle peeking right in and getting the kill for himself. It is all onto the Buck of Nostalgia. Will he be able to clutch it out, as he almost comes into the crosshairs of the castle there? He gets the kill.
Yeah,
but
not happening. Yep.
Ace try.
Awesome. A nice try indeed, a nice try, but unfortunate for the side of V5, as the Deimos Force will walk away with another win on second floor bedroom, another round win for themselves, putting it up to a 3-2 so far in the first half. Last round of the first half as well coming up, which means round 7 role swap is just on the other side of this sixth round. And wait a minute, we are in fact going to Bar Gaming, not to Kitchen, the side that we saw Deimos Force take once again without too much trouble. But then again, that was also the side where Nostalgia disconnected. So I think Deimos Force is hedging their bets on Bar Gaming one more time. Poseidon, interesting six pick right there. Out of the smoke into the Frost. I cannot disagree with that either, because Frost has slowly been coming up when it comes to competitive Rainbow Six, and I cannot be happier because, I mean, sure, she's not exactly the most subtle of the trap operators, right? Gigantic bear trap that she brings to the table, but underneath windows, underneath some deployable shields, or hidden behind particular props on a map, that Frost map can just turn the tide of an entire game. It's happened before, and with Frost becoming once again, it's a little bit more important, it could happen again. Interesting pick from the side of the defense as well, as Snapper on Candy will bring in Warden. Even though there aren't too many flashbangs coming in from the side of Virtual5, only Nostalgia is the one with flashes. You want to counter the smokes as well. Kurosaki, Nippon, that's 4 smoke grenades, 4 potential counter opportunities. So I appreciate the kind of thinking that Sniper on Candy is bringing in, as Deimos Force wants to take this 4-2.
Yeah, definitely. Frost has been going up in picks as well ever since she got the secondary shotgun on her kit, as we saw there, which is the Mira's ITA-12S. But I guess on this current loadout, it wouldn't quite really affect having extra okay, excuse me there. So having extra soft breach potential doesn't really affect them, since they do have Levi on the Aruni there, as well as Tsukishima Goat, who does also have the super shorty for himself. Aruni, I'd still say she's a little busted with her arm there that can punch through basically everything and anything it wants for infinite amount of time. But we'll have to see how they play their operators properly. Currently though, we have Sniper Wants Candy playing where we had the Vomai playing in the first round, with the same almost loadout, except we do see him on the Warden to avoid any sort of smoke pushes that might come in.
Well, right now with the breach coming in once again onto that wall of office, he's going to be up for the chopping block once again. Twitch drone wheezing by, just making sure that, he's got all the intel in the world. Knows that the Jaeger and the Warden are sending there. One more drone for good measure from V5. They love their drones and they love their intel, as the Ash charges are slowly coming in, denying all kinds of utility, but they've got to watch their crosses right now, and Kurosaki will do exactly that. Finds Tsukishima Goat with a huge entry kill right there for Virtual5, but here's the Warden to find one. Get found, and Asterix finds Shrisha as well. That's a quick turnaround of bodies being taken, and Asterix wants more. He will get more. Sophia down and taken care of, and that's the refrag instantly from Nostalgia. 2v2, making that a 2v1, as Nippon finds Levi as well. A bit of a voice crack right there, apologize for that, but now it's a 2v1. Poseidon once again in the clutch situation. This man has found himself in 3 clutch situations within 6 rounds, and while of course they haven't exactly gone his way, this is the closest I think that he is to making it out of this one alive. 9mm C1, not the best in terms of fire rate, but he could still take it. Quick peek gives away his location, and a pre-fire on top of that, with the barbed wire being broken onto the hallway of Bar. More shots fired, takes a bit of damage. Plans going off from Nippon, and the cover is there from Nostalgia. Poseidon needed to turn to the right, did not know that the Buck was approaching the rotate right there. And with that, the kill confirmed, and Virtual5 will take an attacking round, one more on Chalet, which puts this in a 3-3 going into roll swap.
Yep, an even half coming out from both teams, as you mentioned. 3-3 scoreboard coming out. We will be seeing the roll swap now, and we'll have to see how Deimos Force plays themselves on attack. We are seeing a Blackbeard come out though, which is quite interesting ever since his nerf. I believe he's essentially useless. Feel free to disagree with me there, but I don't see his need currently. But we'll have to see how they play him, or maybe the 6-pick him. But as we will see the Bandit getting 6-pick out for the Goyo. Meanwhile, the Zofia takes on the role of the Maverick here.
Interesting couple of six picks right there, especially the six pick out the excuse me, the six pick out the Zofia from the side of DF. But then again, like we've mentioned before, Deimos Force is one for their guns and one for all the kills, if you will, and that's what they really like to do. They're aggressive, they're sometimes even oppressive with the way that they play, the ops that they bring in. One particular match I remember a few months ago casting on Coastline, completely demolishing the opposition with Operation Chimera meta being brought into play. Lion, Blitz, Finka, Ash, it was all over the place, I tell you what. But regardless, that was a match in the past, just harkening back to that for some good measure, just to give our viewers some context on how this team loves to go about their aggressive play style, and they will do absolutely anything to demolish their enemy team. Well, absolutely anything that's in the game. But wait a minute, Tsukishima, early kill onto Hussein. That's a Kaid down as well. That's a big pick early as an anchor will go down. Not sure exactly where that happened, but we're going to find out sooner or later regardless. As taking a little bit of moment right here to talk about Snapper One Candy's Blackbeard pick. Right after the nerf to his shield, Blackbeard isn't exactly the best pick in the world. I'm sure Sniper, when he saw the patch notes, wouldn't have been too happy about the shield's HP being reduced down to 20, but I don't think he really minds that much. It's all about surviving that one bullet of a headshot. And then, even if the second bullet is coming at you or not, he will still finish the kill. He's good enough with those guns of the Blackbeard. He's experienced them firsthand, the way they play and how you should be going about playing the Blackbeard. So he's going to bring that in, that expertise for his team, watching the connected area as the breach is coming in on that trench wine cellar wall.
Yeah, they are having to struggle a little bit there since they can't seem to get rid of the kite charge, which apparently they just did, throwing a nade in, and they will be managing to get the wine wall open. Peeking in though, no real free picks coming out there. Defenders still holding fast, not giving them any free picks, so to say, except of course of the kite earlier into the round. Last half of the round, as the Blackbeard just throws the flashbang and swings in, will he be able to catch anyone off guard? The Nipun of smoke will go down, and another one there from Deimos, just taking out the defenders again and again and again. But the Jaeger will swing wide. Your average R6 player gets one, but he will have to retreat back, as he is currently in a 1v3 situation since he managed to take Levi out. Will he be able to clutch this out? No, the Tsukishima playing on the breach there will get rid of him, as round number 7 goes to Deimos.
I have to say, Deimos Force practically brute forcing their way through the trenches area into sight, and very hard to root out once they're in and settled. And unfortunately for Virtual5, they learned that, their first hand in this situation, as we're going to be headed to second floor master bedroom and office from the side of the defense. Now, knowing that basement is probably not the best site to go back onto without a Mira to boot, you want to go onto second floor, try and see what you can do here with the 6-pick out of the Goyo into the Wamai from Nostalgia. Again, not a pick that I disagree with. I actually agree with this quite a bit. Shields are always fine, but without the kind of denial that you need to keep those shields alive, it's not really going to be too much of a use, especially with Goyo, right? He turns turns quite a bit of area into just a flaming fireball, and you can't really stay there because, of course, that's just friendly fire or damage to the Goyo himself, and that's not going to be too good, especially if you get blown to sky high after a piece of utility catches your Goyo shield from afar. So those little bits and pieces of decision making from V5, they're all there, but Deimos Force is taking advantage of the mistakes that they're making, the little gaps in their defense, the little breaks in their armor. All of that is being used to great effect, at least so far. And not to say that Virtual5 haven't. It is 4-3 after all, and V5 have fired back in kind on multiple occasions to find themselves this close to an equalizer once again, with DF back on the lead in round 8.
Yeah, definitely. So far, Deimos has been playing really smart here, I would say personally, and the Wamai pick is definitely a smarter pick of the two compared to Goyo, considering the amount of exploding Deimos Force likes to bring on their roster, considering the Maverick, the Ash, and Diana with the nades as well. So yeah, you really didn't want to be playing behind a Goyo shield and having a nade explode on your face, especially considering Jaeger's recent nerfs. You can't really control a lot, as we can see that they do have 4 sets of grenades there, or rather 4 total, including 3 flashbangs to burn ADSs, which is, well, it just takes 1 currently. So not so good there to just bring out the Jaeger alone, so to say. But currently Kurosaki is holed up inside the closet there, looking to find any picks that might come his way. He does have castle barricades to assist him, I believe. But yeah, so far he is just in a waiting game there. Will be pre-firing into the window, gets shot up quite a lot as he will drop the hatch only to run into the ash downstairs. And that's a round man lead to Deimos.
Throwing frag!
Asterix getting that first kill. He was just holding down below, right? Trying to see if somebody was playing offside first floor and gets the kill. Diana with the grenades coming up to second floor now, up the library stairs. Nobody is down below to be worried about except for, as we see, the Kaid out on the roam. Hussein, he was the first one to drop last round. This time he is alive, but he is more directly below site, probably waiting for a C4 play or two. But Nostalgia will disconnect again. No! V5, they're having their troubles today from the looks of it, and it's not helping them, not in the slightest. Meanwhile, Deimos Force, they're going to get the breeze done nice and quickly with the kite charge being taken care of, but will that matter as Sniper on Candy gets taken down by Sen, but Tsukishima Good finds your average Justice player. Nippon in the meanwhile going up. SMG 11 in hand, 4v2 as well. His team in a major disadvantage as he's going to bring out the shotgun. Maybe, maybe not. Still a little bit on the fence with that decision as the Maverick is coming in to make the breach. Could not get the, unfortunately couldn't get the Electro Claw, but will finally. Nostalgia has returned and Hussein will find Tsukishima in the meanwhile. Double kill for him as the smoke grenade goes out with the summer breaches on that bedroom wall. Hussein with a triple. He's bringing his team home for the looks of it. And SMG11's out to find one more, but Poseidon will find Hussein once more. It's all down to Nippon, and he will get the shot. Turns around inside of office, and boom! Headshot for the round.
Really well played there by this smoke to clutch it all out for his teammate. Really, he had good usage on the utility as well, as we saw there, had all 3 of his canisters in the last 30 seconds, which does provide the smoke a really good winning potential. And well, with the SMG11, these are all quite proficient players. SMG11 recoil isn't anything for them, as we saw him use it right there to clutch it out, to put his team on equal round count as their opponent. So 4-4 now, round number 9. Caveira coming out. That's just a 6-pick bait. Unfortunately, no Caveira play will be seen today, as Echo will be in play instead.
Interesting. The Echo being brought into
Bar
play.
Gaming.
Echo on Bar Gaming. Just gonna nice and quickly get that sorted. There we go. Just taking all the information in. You know how it is. But you know, overall, what we're seeing here from both V5 and DF is an interesting back and forth, and they really just like to go all in when they to get going in a round. I think the big thing is those first couple of kills right there. As soon as 2 bodies are dropped, or even 1, that's practically the signal to commit entirely to the plan that they have for that round, and that is exactly what both V5 and DF have been doing here on Chalet once again. First stream match, I believe, SA Nationals for Chalet as well. So always nice to see this map come in. We were talking about this yesterday, right? That Chalet needs to be brought in to play, because it's a good map, I'd say. And competitively speaking, sure, there's a few gaps here and there that can really turn the tide one way or the other. But for the most part, this is a good map to play on. It's got good cover for the defenders, but not too much that it becomes egregious for the attackers to get in there. And overall, I'd say the balance struck in this rework is just there, just right there, no? It's right there.
Yeah, Ubisoft seemed to have hit the nail right on the head here, as I've also seen, going on a little bit of tangent here, a lot of praise for Skyscraper. I don't know about you, but I've seen a lot of people being really appreciative of that as well. Though that's not included in Pro Play as of yet. We only have Chalet, and we'll have to see how it develops, since it is a really early on version of it we are seeing right now. I'm sure the players will work on it, and they will come up with new interesting strategies as time goes on. speaking of time going on, we have been through the first minute here and no casualties coming down and not a lot of map control either from what I can see coming out from Deimos so far.
Yeah, interesting that now that you mention it, Deimos hasn't really done much in terms of map control. They're slowly taking care of the piano hallway, going into the library, of course. Kurosaki, he's seen that and he knows that he's got to be careful. But wait a minute, that's a Gemini that whizzes right by his face, and one of his own castle barricades is going to be taken out by the Selma of the Ace. A ping comes out to warn him as a grenade will be denied by the ADS. Another one's going to be flying any second now from the Iana as well. Asterix. You get to toss that. No, he actually saves it, but a trade comes in between Sniper and Candy and your average Arctic player, and Kurosaki will go down as well to Poseidon from below. Shield will not be taken care of by the grenade. Interesting, as Poseidon goes down to Hussein. A trade coming in. Trades for trades, an eye for an eye is what both sides are currently looking at. They are taking kills, taking bodies back to back, and making sure that neither side is left with a man advantage for too long.
Yeah, definitely. Last 45 seconds of the round, and we are at equal man count, as you just pointed out. We'll have to see what Deimos does here as well. Mostly, it relies on them at this point currently, since the defenders do have smoke up as well as echo, so they're just gonna sit around and wait for the attackers to come in and then use their utility to probably deny a plant or just kill them upright. That being said, Levi just peeked right into Nippon. That's just smoke gone, so only echo left in terms of plant denial currently. We'll have to see how that goes for him. Nostalgia holding the pixel angle will get the kill, whereas elsewhere the Iana will get the kill. Echo will have to peek. Unfortunately for him is Tsukishima on the other side, who will get the trade for his teammate, as Echo did manage to get the Iana down, I believe.
Yeah, the down was there. Iana was, DBNO, but unfortunately that will not be helping because, of course, he got taken down very, very quickly as well. Deimos Force, in the meanwhile, taking round after round on the attack, making sure that they do not, make any mistakes in this situation that we will be seeing here for themselves. 5-4 going into round 10, and V5 once again chasing the lead that Deimos Force has put up in front of them. Snowmobile Garage once again the site of choice from the side of the defense right now. And V5 going back to this side means that they want to try one more time. Again, it's gonna take a little while before Chalet really comes into its own as a map with unique strategies and whatnot in competitive Rainbow Six. But excuse me there. Regardless of that, there's still plenty of room to grow here for both teams. I'm seeing V5 and DF play this version of Chalet similar to how old Chalet used to be played, right? Emphasis on trench, not so much on main wall to sort of distract or even bamboozle the defenders who might think that a main region is going off on garage wall, or sometimes just emphasizing on what used to be bedroom balcony. Currently, of course, it is I can't remember the actual name. I just call it Sunroom because it's somewhat similar to what the actual name sounds like. What bedroom balcony? Solarium. Yes, thank you, BZ, for pointing that one out to me. Solarium used to be, bedroom balcony, right? But it's been turned into a part of the map. But even then, that still is an area. Yeah, that's still an area that gets emphasized on so much. They're playing similarly to how Old Chalet used to be played, but there are some variations that we're starting to see as the ADS will be burned by smoke grenades of all things, and a grenade goes in to take out the Electro Claw. No, that one flew a little too far, which means it's going to take a little bit longer to get that Electro Claw out of there.
Interesting how he threw. Wait, was it caught by a Womaya magnet maybe? Oh, yeah, it might have been. I'm not quite sure, though, because that went way too far if they were planning on trying to killing the kite charge there, as for sure it could not have been behind the snowmobile there. But the drones will be coming out, and they will be calling out the position of the defender playing on the stairs itself, as the Maverick will be throwing in another grenade to avoid any sort of kite tricking that might be coming out. It will, in fact, get the wall open as we head into the last half of the round here, almost, as at full man count. The attackers decide to rotate on over towards Crunch, and they will be pushing up inside of the cubby there as they go for their second breach. However, I believe they're out of grenades. No, actually, in fact, they do have two. left on Iana, who might just be able to take care of the kite charges put on the wall here.
Kite charges and so many other things to take care of for the side of Deimos Force, but they're doing that nice and quickly. In the meanwhile, Ash Charge will be caught by a magnet. Kurosaki finds the Gemini Replicator, but that's only going to give away his potential position. He's got the bandit for cover, of course, but Selmas are coming in, and as are smokes from both Nippon and from the side of the attack. Actually, attackers have no smokes remaining, so all smoke grenades to pop off now are going to be from the smoke of the defense. Kurosaki still holding behind the shield. He's still adamant about this position, which is a good position to be in for sure, but Shrisha is going to find one that's Poseidon off the board. Deimos Force lose the first body, but will they lose momentum because of that? No, not quite. The Ash is in. Tsukishima goes in, it doesn't get taken out. Wait a minute, Deimos Force has found themselves inside and they're trying to entrench themselves deep, and Tsukishima with a triple kill will actually manage to do that, but the plant will not even need to go off as Levi comes in, Hussein goes down, Deimos Force take round 10.
Yep, what a play there by the attackers on Deimos.
Oh yeah,
Dude,
I have to agree on that one.
That was amazing. That was great to see. Amazing shots coming out as the swung in. Took the player down behind the shield. He had all the cover for him, but the Ash just doesn't miss. He just, yeah. And
He does,
all of that
miss.
effort for a lot of gain as they are on match point now. And Virtual5 facing a lot of pressure going into the next round here. Round number 11 and 12 actually will be a lot of pressure for them as they try to pull in towards overtime, but Deimos Force will be on their heels to deny them, as all they need is one more round to win this out.
One more round for Deimos Force to win it all out here. Virtual5, 2 rounds, 2 chances to push for overtime, and then they have a chance of winning this. But they have to think about overtime right now as they have to go from goal to goal, from strength to strength. Because if they don't, if they get caught out by Deimos Force here, then that's it. Round 1 of the SA National Qualifiers will not see them going through to the closed qualifiers later on. Deimos Force, in the meanwhile, they're very close to getting in there. All they need is this round and get themselves into the finals, and they'll be all that closer to getting in to the closed quals. I mean, it's a big step for DF right now, as teams like Union Gaming, like Mercenaries, like so many others, Extraordinaire Esports, who were formerly known as L2K, all of them not making it through this first stage. Unfortunate, but you know, not exactly something we haven't seen before. And that's not a slight against those teams. Whenever they get going strong, and they are a fierce competition for teams like Deimos Force, like Virtual5, like ESM. So for them to get through this early in the competition is always nice, because they will only have to deal with those bigger, badder teams later on in the closed calls. But of course, enough about the closed calls. That's a long ways away. Right now, we've still got plenty of open calls to go through. And speaking of open, we're going to have the opening coming in onto Basement Snowmobile Garage. Flawless segue, I know. Don't worry about that, ladies and gentlemen. But it is match point. Deimos Force wants to be careful, and that is exactly what they're doing. Quickly rotating from the main breach onto Trench. Once again, doing what they do good and taking advantage of positions that they know they can use against V5.
Yeah, interesting play there as they repeated from the last round. Again, they do manage to get the garage wall open, and then they just completely abandon it to rotate around into the cubby there by the trench. So Kurosaki will get the opening kill here. That's Asterix gone. Your Ayana already down. So no more information coming out. Or, well, I do believe those were 2 nades that were still on her that are wasted. But the nades not making enough work there for them, as the smoke will also come out since they're trying to breach the cubby really, really hard. Now, second kill will be followed up there by Hussein on the kite. So 1 minute left. What will it be? Seems like a round for Virtual5 currently, but will they be able to hold on? As we've currently seen a lot of wide swings there from Deimos Force to win their gunfights. Kurosaki will get droned out and will rotate right back away towards site. I would assume as the ace enters into site, gets shot down by Hussein, will miss his shots on him, and it seems like the Capital there is next in line of the firing range. He will shoot in, but will not commit as he's goes back to reload. The bandit takes out Poseidon. It's all up to Capitao, but Nippon with the smoke will peek in, and that's Lava gone as well. V5 ever so close to pushing this to overtime.
One more round to go to push to overtime. Virtual5 is so close to giving themselves another breather, their second wind, if you will, and what could yet be their last chance at getting in to the closed qualifiers right here, right now, finishing it off before things get too difficult in the coming weeks. And looks like the decider for this round of ones is going to be second floor master bedroom and office once again. Why do I call it the round of ones? Well, we've talked about this in the previous match that I was casting with Dr. Dang. It's because one round to go for Virtual5 to push for overtime. Of course, we just talked about that, but Deimos Force still have one more round to win. One round for either side means the round of ones is going to be underway with an IQ being sixth picked in by Deimos Force. Interesting decision making there, but I have to say I agree with that one. You know, Virtual5, they like the utilities, they like their gadgets, and they like all of the denials that they can do with them. And with the kind of soft floor that they're working with, or soft ceiling, depending on where you are on the map, I think the IQ might just have a good advantage as soon as first floor is cleared out. So good decision making, potentially speaking, from Deimos Force. We'll have to see how that one pans out.
Definitely another one of those rounds. The round number 11s, they're always the most intense, I guess. If you manage to push into round 11, it always is an intense matchup between those two teams. But that being said, Virtual5 have managed to break down the momentum that Deimos Force had going for them in the previous rounds. So, will they be able to hold on one more round and push it? Or Deimos Force will be able to get back on their momentum that they previously had? We'll have to see, though, as they are setting up for this take coming in from library, I believe, this time around again. As well, we do see multiple members from V5 who are present there. Kite will go for a peek into the library window on the south side, but he does not spot anyone out. Will shift his attention towards west and the south as he juggles between different windows, hoping to catch any one of the attackers off guard, as it seems like they will not just be giving him any free picks. A nade comes in from the Iana, I do believe there, who did previously lost her drone as well, but the Kite will decide to be wise and just run away from the situation, giving away trophy. He has wasted a minute of their time, which is quite a lot in this current situation.
Quite a lot indeed, but a wise decision nonetheless, as interestingly enough, Poseidon, wait a minute, he's all the way out at the tower gazebo over here, as that's a long angle all the way in to bedroom from the big window. You usually see someone like a Glaz or a Kali hold this one, or somebody with a 3x scope on a DMR, like say Dukebi or Buck with a DMR if you're feeling adventurous. That's not going to be the case today, as we're just going to have a little bit of a hold, and that's been abandoned as well by Poseidon. He wants to get in up close to the action, and who can blame him? His team needs him there on site, all hands on deck. We've got the grenades coming in. Is that going to deny the Electroclaw? Yes, it will. IQ came in just a little bit too late, but still, there was an attempt made, and that attempt has been successful. As in the meanwhile, all of Deimos Force is pretty much here on the south and southwestern end of the map, facing off against V5, who are facing them from the northern end, from inside of sight. Tons of stuff to do. A little bit of a opposites being played right here. As just a couple of rounds ago, it was the other way around. The attackers coming in from the bedroom area, but of course we can talk about that later. Hussein's gonna find the first one, Levi, to go down, and that is your Maverick off the board. Diffuser drop as well from the looks of it. Or was it just left there? It might have just been left there, but it doesn't matter. Snap-on Candy will find Hussein. That's another drop as Sakshima wants to get in, wants to make things happen, but Poseidon will go down to Kurosaki instead. So many shots being fired, but Nippon has a power position here with the shield on Piano. Nostalgia will find Asterix, and V5 are inching closer and closer to overtime. Nostalgia finds Sakashima, one more down. It's all up to Snap-on Candy. Can he get a few here? 10 seconds, 8 seconds, gets a kill, gets shot at, gets taken down. Nostalgia will get the kill, and Virtual5 will win round 12. So ladies and gentlemen, I believe you know exactly what time it is. Are you ready to rumble? Because overtime is here.
What a round there from Virtual5, just holding on to their horses, getting quite a convincing win on the round there as they head into overtime, which also happens to be their defense. And well, they have clearly just been on a roll now. They have their momentum going for them, and they got another defense right into their hands, which means they do actually, in fact, have two defenses for themselves. So this does look to be a Virtual5 map currently, but we'll have to see how it plays down in the next 3 rounds, or well, 2, depending on whoever manages to win however many rounds first, right? So going back downstairs to Wine Cellar and Snowmobile Garage. The same lineup coming out here from V5 as well. If ain't broke, don't fix it mentality does seem to be working quite successfully for them so far over the last 2 rounds, as we did see them successfully win out 2 different bomb sites consecutively. But we'll have to see some changes coming out there from Deimos forces. We are now seeing Levi on the Twitch again.
Interesting decision making right there from DF. Bringing in the Twitch, obviously a pretty interesting and in some cases good idea. You can take care of utilities pretty easily with a Twitch drone that recharges its shocks as it goes along. But on the other side, if Deimos Force wants to do the same thing that they have done for the number of rounds that we've come to basement for when it comes to Deimos Force on attack, right? We've been basement snowmobile on round 7, round 10, 11, and now 13. 4 times since the second half came into play. 2 have been won by Deimos Force. Both times they got the main snowmobile breach done with a single Selma and quickly rotated off to that trench wall. Now, excuse me right there. The main difference, triple ADS, I just noticed that as well on that main wall. So it looks like the Virtual5 is reading the Deimos Force, as in DF will want to make this main breach the main entry site, but looks like all the ADSs have been burnt. But the grenade, unfortunately, went may or may not a little bit too far. Will the battery come off ever so slightly? No, it does actually. Breaks the final piece of the second strip, of the Selma breach right there. Nice and quickly done, as his position is also going to be given away by Twitch. But looks like Deimos Force is once again rotating, and they're rotating towards the trench wall. This is something that they were read into, from them by V5. And Nostalgia actively peeking that little Selma strip on the main garage wall means that there's going to be a lot more happening there, potentially speaking, to deny some sort of coverage from Deimos Force's side. All of this means, simply put, V5 is expecting Deimos Force to do this. Whether or not DF is aware of the fact that they're being read into, it's going to come down to the gunfights. That is very clear from the way the setup is in this round. And whoever takes it is going to be the first to overtime match point once again.
Yeah, definitely. I guess Deimos Force also read into the fact that it does come down a lot to gunfights, and they are bringing their best guns here, as you can see on the Ace, the Ash, the Maverick, the Sophia, as well as the Twitch there. So all 5 of them have really capable. All 5 are mostly considered the 5 best guns on the attack, almost, I would say. So we'll have to see how this goes for them, as Nostalgia is on 1 HP, will die to a single shot from any gun that might just happen to peek at him. And speaking of a single shot, the Twitch will find the headshot, and then a second onto Hossein, and Nippon will follow closely by getting a third one there. So man advantage now in the favor of Deimos Force. The bomb has been planted. It's all up to the last 2 players. Your average R6 and Kurosaki. Average R6 will get the kill. That's Fukushima down. And now the Twitch actually will follow in his footsteps. So it's all on to the Poseidon now. A really quick retake coming out there from Virtual5. Can the Maverick clutch it out for his team, as Kurosaki will go in for the defense, but is the Jaeger aware of his position? It appears not, as he will get shot down, but the defender still win the round. The Valkyrie sticks it. The Maverick unable to get to him in time, and that's that. The Virtual5 still on their momentum, still be able to win the first round of overtime.
Very unfortunate for the side of Deimos Force right there. Poseidon, just a little too late. I think it was just a little hesitant in actually getting in there. He didn't know where the Jaeger was. All he could hear was footsteps all over the place of the Jaeger running around. And then the call probably came in that the counter defuse was being run. But unfortunately, by the time he got the line of sight that he needed, or, whichever way he would have gotten the kill, was just too little too late. Ladies and gentlemen, Basement Garage has been won by the side of the defense, or what was the defense, Virtual5 in round 13, who are now attacking. And the site, from the looks of it, is actually headed straight to second floor. Deimos Force, they did not want to go to basement in the slightest in the first half. We saw that from them, and they are continuing that trend here with going to second floor. Going to second floor on what could yet be the last round of this game. V5, 1 round away from the victory. Deimos Force, 1 round away from an equalizer. This is also, in its own way, a round of ones, a high-pressure situation where 1 round for either side spells victory or a match extension onto maximum overtime. And that, of course, is in and of itself its own match. Like like maximum overtime, right? And I know I fumbled quite a bit there, excuse me for that, but maximum overtime is by itself its own little mini match, right? Because it all the stakes are there. Everything is up for grabs. The entire match, everything that has happened so far, 1 round for either side, no coming back. Like, we hype up rounds 13 and 14 a lot, but round 15 is, without a doubt, the single most important round in a match that goes to maximum overtime. And given the way V5 and DF have been playing today, I can definitely almost say with 100% surety that we will see maximum overtime. If I'm wrong about that, well, I'll be wrong about that. But for the time being, Shrees is going to go down, trying to peek Asterix. That's a big drop and an unfortunate first kill, but a good one for Deimos Force's side.
Yeah, seems like they're on their way to prove you're correct by heading into round number 15. As the Ash is first to die, arguably not a big loss there, but still the fragging capability is going to weigh down onto Virtual5 later in the round as well. We'll have to see how it goes since the smoke is holed up inside library, and the Buck seems to be aware of his position, at least mildly there, as he attempts to get rid of anybody who's playing inside the library itself, spamming through walls, attempting to get any kills. The smoke will get droned out, but he does drop the hatch. Unfortunately for Asterix, he gets shot up from the hatch itself by the Twitch there. Smoke will be attempting to rotate around into trophy stairs, maybe going up into Solarium to support his teammates as he makes his way back into the site. It seems like Deimos Force Virtual5 has come to a halt right now as they are rotating around on the roofs of all places as Hard Breach and other setups are coming into play from them. Last minute left, and well, Deimos Force have this last minute to hold on to make their way into maximum overtime, or Virtual5 if they want to win it out. We'll have to see how this goes for them. Flashbangs coming in. It looks like Virtual5 are getting ready for their execute right now as we head into the last 40 seconds of the round. Sniper on scanning will spot out Nippon. That's your ace gone, but Hussein on the Zofia will trade him out. Kurosaki following closely on Hussein's footsteps, taking out Levi. Castle needs to get aggressive there. Will spot out the Zofia, but Zofia with her concussion in hand will concuss him and supported by Kurosaki will get the kill. However, Kurosaki still on his grind will take out Tsukishima. And that's the map, ladies and gentlemen. No maximum overtime for you, Blackjack, unfortunately. But Virtual5 will take a victory. Quite a comeback, I would say, winning 4 rounds in a row to get the win here.
Absolutely. 4 back-to-back rounds by Virtual5 Esports. What a match from them. What a match from Deimos Force as well. And as you can see, 17 kills to Hussein. He really did a lot of heavy lifting. 13 and 14 to Levi and Tsukishima as well. But ladies and gentlemen, that has been it, if you will, for this semi-final. As we come back to our faces one more time, It is 8-6 in Virtual5's favor, proving me wrong about that maximum overtime call. But hey, we got to see a fantastic round from them, so I am, of course, very happy about that one. And at the end of the day, both sides made quite a few mistakes. I have to say there were some decisions made, some peaks taken, some fights chosen that probably would have benefited by approaching them a little differently, from a different angle, from a different perspective. But of course, that is the advantage hindsight gives, right? You look at things from a different perspective and you think, okay, maybe instead of pushing straight through library, I could have gone through the bedroom rotate, or maybe I could have gone from the library stairs coming into the window area. There's a whole lot of stuff that could have been done, and that of course warrants its own discussion for a later date at a later time. Why do I say that? Because this means V5 are headed to the finals of the Open Qualifiers of the South Asia Nationals, the first round of the Open Qualifiers of the South Asia Nationals, and that also marks the end of this YouTube stream right here, as the finals will be broadcasted over on twitch.tv/South Asia R6 community. So get yourselves over there. The second semifinal is still running currently, as far as I can see, 4-2 in favor of E-Samurai, which looks like a very interesting game indeed. So head on over there and stay there with your popcorn ready, because we'll be back with the finals later on after that match is done. And that has been it for myself, Blackjack, and your co-host, and our co-host, BZA. And we'll be back after a little break. Stay tuned. See you on Twitch.